Chicken Treat, Automasters, Lotto, Nike, Coca-Cola, Uncle Toby's and Nintendo.
Listen!
It's on again, another Super Sunday showdown in Perth. It's do or die time for both the Perth Wildcats and Melbourne Tigers. Can the Wildcats make history by taking the championship in a marathon final series? Or will the Tigers go one better than last season and win their first ever NBL title? There's no second chances. There can only be one winner, and today's contest for supremacy will decide the 1993 NBL Mitsubishi Challenge champion.
Yes, good afternoon again and welcome to the Perth Entertainment Centre, and for the first time this afternoon a big welcome to Western Australian viewers. It's the third and deciding game in the NBL Grand Final Series between the Perth Wildcats and the Melbourne Tigers. The winner of today's game takes home the champion trophy for season 1993 as we take a look at the results of the two Grand Final games played so far in this contest. Saturday week ago, it's the Melbourne Tigers went 1-0 up when they defeated the Perth Wildcats by 4 points, 117 to 113. The star that night was Andrew Gay's 41 points. Copeland shot 24. Friday night was game 2 here in Western Australia, and the Wildcats turned the table, winning 112 to 105. No doubt the star that night was Ricky Grace. Crawford also chipped in with 32 points. Bradkey, 24 points for the Tigers. So the road to the finals as we see it, the Wildcats have done it hard. They took 3 games to defeat the North Melbourne Giants, also 3 games to defeat the Brisbane Bullets. The Tigers have had an easy run, knocking off the Illawarra Hawks 2-0, and then accounting for last year's champions, the South East Melbourne Magic, also 2-0. So it's 1-1 in the Grand Final Series. John Gardner, good afternoon. The big question is, who's going to take today?
Oh, Stephen, I think that the whole league has boiled down to this one match out there. These two clubs have met 4 times. They've split those decisions in the regular season and in playoff. There's not much between them. You've got to look at home court advantage. You've got to look at those intangibles, the recovery rate that's through both clubs after a tough game. I'm looking for a torrid first quarter. No questions asked. No quarter given whatsoever. And I think we're set for an intriguing grand final.
Well, let's have a look at some team averages for season 1993.
Both of these clubs have performed very well in the playoffs. Both are above their season's averages as far as points, and 50 and 52% from the field is excellent. 78 and 76 from the foul line, a little bit below their season's average. From the three-point line, they've both been a revelation. 47% from the Wildcats is enormous, and 43% for the Tigers, not far behind. Interestingly enough, the Game 2 rebound statistic favoured the Tigers over the Wildcats, which was against their regular playoff statistics. The rest of them are fairly even apart from the turnover, but both of these clubs protect the ball well.
And the starting 5 comparisons.
And I think you can't get statistics that are any more even than this. The first 5 from each are even in almost statistical categories all the way down the line.
Mike Ellis and Dean Templeton, the moment of truth has arrived.
It certainly has, Quarters, and this is what it's all about. That's what all the teams play for all year. And I personally think the Wildcats will get up purely only because of the home court advantage. But, by gee, it really is going to be tough. Dean?
I've got to go with the Tigers. Hey, what other way can I go? Tigers by 3, but it'll be a very close one. Let's have a look at some of the key players for this afternoon's game.
All right, we'll look at, for the Wildcats, of course, first, Ricky Grace and Scott Fisher. Ricky, this is playoffs average, averaging 20 points. He's lifted up in his scoring. He's also lifted up in his assists, and he's doing very, very well in the rebounding department as well. Scott Fisher, who's also going to be an integral part of this match tonight, 21 points and nearly 10 rebounds a game, so they're going very, very well. Let's have a look at some of the Tigers.
Well, there's no doubt that these two are the keys for the Tigers. Andrew Gay's a little bit down in game number 2, but don't deny this guy anything. He'll stand up this afternoon. I'm sure he'll have a big one. Leonard Copeland, very exuberant in game number 2, but he's so dynamic and can do anything on the afternoon. Look forward to watching both those guys this afternoon.
Well, tonight, or I'll say today, it is today. Today, it's going to be a real tough match. You expect to be very physical to start with?
I think in that first quarter you'd expect to see quite an aggressive start by the Tigers in particular. Ricky Grace is the key. They've got to somehow stop him. I'm not suggesting they'll do anything illegal, but let's look out for a tough start. But look, whichever way this game's going to go, these are the two best teams in the league, and it's just going to be a terrific afternoon.
Oh, I'd have to agree with Dean. Now let's go courtside for the starting fives.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Perth Entertainment Center for Game 3 of the NBL Mitsubishi Challenge Grand Final Series. Today is a do-or-die effort for both the Perth Wildcats and the Melbourne Tigers. So let's hear some noise as we introduce today's starting five, beginning with the Melbourne Tigers. Wearing number 10 for the Melbourne Tigers, Andrew Gage. Wearing number 21 for the Melbourne Tigers, Leonard Copeland. Wearing number 25 for the Melbourne Tigers, David Simmons. Wearing number 50 for the Melbourne Tigers, Mark Bradkey. Wearing number 52 for the Melbourne Tigers, Robert Sibley. Head coach for the Melbourne Tigers, Lindsay Gaines. And now, Perth, it's time to introduce to you our own starting five for the Perth Wildcats. Wearing number 7 for the Perth Wildcats, starting in the position as forward, James, the Alabama Slammer, Crawford. Wearing number 10 for the Perth Wildcats, starting in the position as guard, Trevor Dumbo Torres. Wearing number 15 for the Perth Wildcats, starting in the position as guard, Ricky the Amazing Grace. Wearing number 21 for the Perth Wildcats, starting in the position as forward, team captain, Andrew Blaha. Wearing number 30 for the Perth Wildcats, starting in the position as forward, Scott the Fish Fisher. Head coach for the Perth Wildcats is Adrian Hurley. And the referees for today's grand final are Robbie Barnett, Bill.
So the starting fives for the two teams, the Wildcats, Torrance, Grace, he's the key this afternoon, Blahov, Fisher and Crawford. For the Tigers, Gaze with a little bit of a hamstring problem, Copeland, Sibley, Simmons and Bradkey off the benches.
Well, if we look at the benches for both clubs out there, Watterson played well in the playoffs. Carroll hasn't seen a lot of time. Catalini, Davis and Baker. For the Tigers, Giddy, he hasn't seen much time, but Ray Gordon, he was a revelation in game 2. I expect more time from him. Walter, Tenner and Whitehead, just a little bit down Whitehead, but could also be a key.
In Melbourne, there they are, the Tigers fans at Ormond Hall and Albert Park. Hope you enjoy the game and hope you get the result you want this afternoon. And John, I didn't think it was possible, but the atmosphere is even bigger and better than Friday night.
It's more electric here this afternoon. 8,000 fans. It's certainly a sellout as you would expect, and the game's underway.
And we're away. Turnover first up against the Perth Wildcats. So the Melbourne Tigers will get the ball. They're going to left of screen. Third and deciding grand final game. As I said, the winner this afternoon wins the championship trophy for season 1993. Simmons has the basketball. There's Sidley. Gage, Torrance will have the job on him again this afternoon. Gage to Sidley, thought about the shot, changed his mind.
10 on the shot clock.
Sidley forces his way closer. First points, Tigers.
Good, encouraging start for Sibley. He was quiet in game 2. He's a key. He destroyed the Wildcats in the first couple of quarters in game 1 with good outside shooting.
Grace. Look at Copeland.
He's fired up. Wasn't he fired up in game 2 on Friday night? He's certainly fired up for this one, as you would expect. Good dish.
Blahov for 3. Yes, sir. What a start for the Wildcats.
Well, it's all for the doing now, Stephen, really. Both of these clubs are set down. They know their strategies. It's up to the players.
Steal from Blahov, but it goes over the sidelines, and it'll be a Tigers ball. They've got to be careful with their passes, John. Tigers very sloppy in game 2.
Yes, they had about 20-21 turnovers in game 2, which was a little higher than their season's average out there. They'll want to protect the ball a little better today.
There's Copeland. Oh, Sibley almost lost possession. Did this time, it's a turnover. Fisher
kept at it, and got the reward. Fisher on the break, down the middle. Will they stop Grace's penetration? Fisher from the outside.
Wow, almost a big tip in. Now the Tigers into attack. Copeland gets past Grace. Up goes the shot for Copeland. No, rebound Fisher.
Boy, Wildcats are pushing the ball down the floor, Mike Ellis.
They certainly are. They're taking it very aggressively. I thought they were tentative on Friday night, but they're certainly making up for it at the moment.
It's 5-2, Wildcats lead. You cannot hear yourself think here at the moment.
Little double team here in the corner. Gay's got out of that, found Bradkey. He came out to relieve the pressure.
Simmons falls short the shot.
Well done, Simmons.
Bradkey off the board. Won't go. Foul's called. It's a push.
Pushing foul, and already there's a bit of brag time coming out there. Bradkey's strong. Simmons before that, excellent in keeping the ball alive. First foul comes up on the Wildcats. Scott Fisher.
Bit of a mismatch, Bradkey and Grace, wasn't it?
Yeah, Grace found himself in there trying to steal the ball off Bradkey as he turned and tried to put it to the floor. Bradkey on the foul line. Dean, a little bit of nerves from the Tigers first up.
Well, I think the anxiety level for both teams is extremely high. As Stephen Quartermain said, this crowd is fantastic, and it's got to be a huge advantage to the Wildcats, but both teams will take a little while to settle down.
Bradkey knocks down the second. So it's 5-3. Wildcats in front early in the piece. Big screen set by Fisher. Didn't do any harm to Copeland. Grace drives. Crunch from Sibley.
Offensive foul.
It's a charging foul. Well.
Offensive foul. Grace saw the triple team, tried to dish. The pass was excellent, but he carried on. We'll pick it up for you here in replay. See the defensive player. Gaze was there. Of course, the Wildcats will say that Sibley came from the side. Good call. Offensive foul against Grace.
Bradkey shoots. Foul off the ball. It's against Simmons.
Offensive. 2 offensive fouls, Dean. I guess the first quarter is championship basketball.
Well, the referees have got to be right on their mettle this afternoon. There's no doubt that there's going to be a lot of this stuff going on off the ball. They've got to make the call. They've got to make the first call, and so far they're doing a fine job.
You can see that Simmons paid the penalty for the arm foul there. The referees will allow body contact.
Lahov, Torrance, Grace. Good work from Sibley. Forces the turnover. Passes to no one in particular, and Perth will get the ball back.
That's a real smart move from Copeland, and there's a foul on Sibley. Going back to that last play phase, Copeland got his hand on the ball, didn't want to pass it back to a Wildcat player as he was going out of court, threw it almost the full length of the court. You can see again, Dean, well, both of these teams are keyed up for this game.
I think the Tigers have got to be very careful. They really are pumped up. They can't let themselves get into the situation they did in game 1 where they racked up a lot of early fouls.
Torrance with the ball for the Wildcats.
Well, it's a professional team that will win this one here. Torrance with the dish. Fisher off the glass, doesn't get the friendly roll. The foul on Bradkey will send Fisher to the foul line. Michael, Wildcats bench certainly pumped.
They certainly are. Every time something happens, doesn't matter whether it's a turnover or it's an offensive rebound or a score, they're all up on their feet. They are very, very excited about this, and they want to get behind the 5 guys they've got on the court because they're making it tough. I'm having a little trouble seeing over most of these guys.
Wildcats lead the Tigers. Sibley.
A lot of pressure on defense. Copeland double team. Bradkey alone, they'll leave him from out there. Gaze scoreless so far. Torrance matching up. Gaze across the top of the pick.
Copeland, great pass to Bradkey. Foul will be on Crawford.
Well, that was a great execution of a pick and roll. Excellent pass. Bradkey did well to reel it in. The foul was there. It was contact. Crouch has picked it up. You can watch it. There's a little contact here as the arm comes out. Boy, it was soft, but Dean made mention earlier of how the referees may well exert their influence in the first part of this game, and we've only got 3.5 minutes gone already, Stephen. Perfect.
Mark Bradkey off to a great start in game 2.
Yeah, he was super in the first quarter, wasn't he?
Yeah. See if he can repeat the performance in game 3. He faded out a little bit in game 2. So it's 7-5, Perth by 2. Grace with the ball. There's Fisher. Vlahoff, the captain.
That'll be a turnover. It'll come off Andrew Vlahoff. Torrance will want to pick it up, of course. That'll send the possession back to the halfway for the back over the half violation. If he had let it run the full length of the court, would have put the Tigers in an instant attacking position.
Simmons. Now Gaze. Hasn't scored yet. Another foul on Grace. Well, and I tell you what, if Ricky Grace is copping some attention out there, Andrew Gaze is no different. They are right on him every time he touches the ball, and even when he cuts through, they're right into him all the time.
There's a lot of contact being out there. And again, Grace has called for the hand foul. You can see him reaching down, trying to get the unfair advantage with the hand foul. We could see a lot of fouls called in this game.
Copeland. Now Fisher on the fast break. Got Torrance to his right. That's where he goes. Torrance misses what he should have made.
Good defence by Gaze. Stood his ground. Non-contact call made.
Simmons. Misses. Can't tip it in. Now Crawford.
Dean, there's some body banging out there at both ends of the floor.
Oh, the work that these guys are putting in under the hoop is just phenomenal. Excellent at refereeing to let it go. But gee, there's some hard work under there.
Crawford. Shoots. Rebound Bradkey. Vlahoff tries to steal it, but it will be a Tigers ball. Almost a big steal from number 21, Andrew Vlahoff.
Both clubs nervous. 17% from the field from the Tigers, 40% from the Wildcats. Very, very nervous start to both clubs. The adrenaline's still pumping just a little bit too much.
Sibley. Bradkey. It's Copeland. Will he take on Grace? He does. 2 points to Copeland.
Copeland has a definite advantage when he goes through on that cut and posts up low on the box there near the bucket. He tends to operate very well with that height advantage over Grace.
Fisher shoots over Simmons.
It's a confident start for Fisher. Simmons, I thought, did an excellent defensive job in game 1 and 2, but Fisher's come out tonight, started, has 6 points, 2 rebounds to go with those points.
Gaze drives. Oh, yes.
Little scoop layup off the glass there. They can't allow him to dribble and drive on his right hand.
First points in the game to Andrew Gaze. It's 9 points apiece.
Tough defence out there with Bradkey on Vlahoff. The 2 Boomer teammates out there. No holes barred tonight.
Vlahoff.
Simmons switches. Grace isolated on Copeland. Goes to the left hand. Slices through. Well, I guess you've got to give credit there for Grace. He was under enormous pressure. Came off the backboard.
Bradkey. He misses. Slapped out by Vlahoff, but it's another Tigers possession.
Bradkey underneath. Crawford now regroups. Bradkey looks to operate. Swings it across to Sibley on his favoured right hand up the baseline. Drops it in for a 2-pointer. Fisher comes up with his second foul.
That last basket by Ricky Grace. Copeland did everything humanly possible. He's still got it in.
He could have only knocked him over. That's the only way he could have stopped that particular shot. Good poise. Well, it's all tied up for the first time. 11 apiece, halfway through the first quarter.
Sibley at the foul line to put the Tigers in front.
Nerves, tension, call it what you like.
Torrance. There's Grace. Lob pass to Crawford. Simply got a hand on it. Timeout here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. It's 11 points apiece between the Perth Wildcats and the Melbourne Tigers.
He's back, he's here, he's Mario, and Mario 1, 2 and 3 plus the never before seen lost levels, but this is new and improved 4 games in one Mario.
Paradise.
No men allowed.
Until disaster strikes and there's no way out.
Oh my God, we're trapped.
While for the guys,
Getting a housekeeper is gonna be a nightmare.
a lucky break. Baywatch, 6:30 tonight on 10.
Daddy's gonna make you
Halfway mark of the first quarter here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. The third and deciding grand final game between the Wildcats and the Tigers. And at the moment, it's 11 points apiece. Mike Ellis, what have you got to report?
Adrian Hurley was a little bit concerned. He said his big concern was the fact that Grace and Fisher both have 2 fouls. Too many hands in there. And he expects Copeland to go down and start posting Grace up. So he wants a lot of help from behind from his other players.
Dean Templeton.
As we see Mark Bradkey, just Smith Simmons picks up the rebound. He'll put this one back in. That puts the Tigers in front. Lindsay Gaze, it sounded like a broken record. Nothing against Lindsay. Ricky Grace was on his mind once again. Wants to stop that penetration.
Vlahov thought about the 3. Fisher. Now Torrance. Grace throwing the ball around the Wildcats. Fisher to Vlahov. Fakes. Now for 2. Rebound Bradkey. Now Copeland. Wildcats have got the numbers back. Copeland, oh, great pass to Sibley to Bradkey. Misses what he should have made. Gets his own rebound. Great work, Mark Bradkey. Tigers lead by 4.
Bradkey really working hard under the bucket out there. Missed the first one, got the second one and put it back. Ricky Grace under pressure. They've certainly stopped his penetration. He has only penetrated once in the first quarter and he got called for an off that play.
Grace, oh, big block from Bradkey.
Great help from Bradkey, came across. Wildcats bench up looking for the foul. It looked clean from here. Bradkey came across, got behind and slapped it away. Some big bodies in there, Michael.
Well, I got to tell you, I had a perfect opportunity and a good angle from here. The problem was that Robbie Barnett, well, it was behind Bradkey and Grace and had a little trouble seeing that, but there was a big follow-through by Bradkey.
Another foul call on the Wildcats. It's against Crawford and he is not happy.
Crawford is incensed. He's been called for holding and Simmons and he were contesting the ball. Well, you be the judge here. As so often happens, the second one is called.
Well, it was in perfect position, but
yeah.
6 of 1.5 doesn't matter,
exactly. Once you start to blow it, you're in trouble. And of course, the fact that the ball's gone out of court, that sends the Tigers to the foul line. That's the 6th team foul against the Wildcats, trailing by 4, 4.5 minutes before quarter time. Simmons on the foul line. Crawford with 2, Grace with 2, Fisher with 2. Fouls, that is. Simmons, 70% from the foul line during the playoffs, up on his season's average. Very, very important player in the Tigers' offense.
4 from 7 at the foul line, the Tigers. 16 to 11, they're in front by 5. Just under 4.5 left in the first quarter. Grace.
Oh dear. Well, you can feel for the pressure. For my money out there, the first contact was made by Grace, and then there was the arm bar that came across, and Copeland's call for the foul. I mean, you be the judge, folks. It's tough. Leonard Copeland, either way, comes up with what is his first foul.
Turnover.
Copeland for a hoop.
Big jam for Leonard Copeland. That'll pump up the Tigers back home at Albert Park. 18 to 11, Melbourne by 7.
A good burst from the Tigers. Both clubs down on points production. Wildcats in particular. Only 11 points so far. Just under 4 minutes before quarter time.
Fisher. Big reject from the Tigers. Bradkey wins the ball. Now Sibley. Gaze.
Andrew Gaze pulls up. Looks to set the offense in motion. They'll come around Simmons. Copeland makes the slash cut. Look for the pick coming across the top and the handoff to Sibley. Copeland from range.
Simmons the rebound. Foul is called. It's on Vlahov.
Andrew Vlahov. His first foul. That, of course, will send the Tigers to the foul line once more.
And a timeout called by the Perth Wildcats. It's 18 to 11. The Tigers in front.
Well, very critical time here. We've seen 2 very quick timeouts. Tigers consolidating now. Leading by 7, 3.5 minutes before quarter time. If we pick up some of the foul counts for you, they're certainly going against the Wildcats. There's some danger signs there. On the other hand, the Tigers are reasonably comfortable.
Yes, there's Margaret Case, wife of Lindsay. Yes, you're on television, Margaret, and I think she's feeling as much stress as Lindsay is at the moment.
Well, they're back on the field now. Simmons should be on the foul line. Wildcats late to come out of the huddle. Would be concerned at the moment. The bounce of the ball is not favouring them. Long way to go for both clubs.
Dean Templeton.
Well, I agree with exactly what John had to say then. We saw on Friday night the Tigers get out to a pretty handy first quarter break, but in these 48-minute games, really the first quarter break means nothing. It comes the third quarter and, of course, the final quarter that really counts. Both teams at the moment are just sparring with each other. It looks very good. Mike Ellis, what did Adrian Hurley have to say during that huddle?
Adrian was concerned with the fact that the ball was moving fairly well, except the bodies weren't with it. What he wants to do is get more people movement with the ball continually going. He's saying the Tigers are going very strong defensively at them, but the Wildcats still need to take the ball inside and draw those fouls.
Simmons. Oh, gee, the Tigers are 11 rebounds to 6. They're dominating the backboards as they did in game 2. They're really throwing themselves at both ends of the glass.
So it's Melbourne by 9, but they led by 12 in game 2, so as we've been saying, doesn't mean much at this stage of the game. Catalini in for Perth. Crawford sitting down. Grace. Torrance. Catalini. Here's Grace. Good pass to Vlahov. Another reject from the Tigers, but a foul is called.
Well, good strong move out there. Sibley with the foul. Andrew Vlahov was triple teamed. A little reverse spin. Good help defense out there. That's Sibley's second foul. You can see he's surrounded by 3. Sibley's call for the foul. Bradke came over the top. Vlahov to the foul line. That's the 5th team foul for the Tigers.
2 shots for Andrew Vlahov. Shot 23 points in game 2.
Gee, that was an ugly
International Player of the Year in season 1993.
Wildcats captain's been shooting very, very well. 89% from the stripe in the playoffs, but that was a nervous first one.
20-12. It's the Tigers by 8. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Gaze. There's Bradke. Back to Simmons.
Just a little too ambitious there, looking for the reverse off Bradke, and they're working well in the front wall for the Tigers. That has been the strength of the Wildcats, but we find the Tigers today going inside most times.
John, I've been impressed so far with the way the Tigers are playing. On Friday night, they got a good lead, but they did it through very quick shots. Today, they're much more composed with their offense. They're moving the ball well and getting a good shot.
Well, that's an important shot from Torrance. And once more, the Tigers come up with a defensive board. That's their 7th defensive rebound. 20 plays, 12. 8-point lead to the Tigers. 2 minutes before quarter time.
Gaze.
To travel. Put that down to defensive pressure. There was good help across the top of the screen set by Simmons. There's the pressure on the bench. Long way to go in this ball game.
Fisher. Pretty cheap foul on Dave Simmons. Unnecessary.
Well, I think it was almost a fumble because as Fisher went across, the gap was closed and Simmons just couldn't contain himself. He wanted to slap at the ball. But by gee, the defence on the inside has been good for the Tigers.
And not taking any risks today is Lindsay Gay. Simmons straight off with 2 fouls. Stephen Whitehead in for his first minutes this afternoon.
Well, Lindsay was heard to comment in an interview that there are no excuses in today's game. It's all or nothing. So I think we may see a little more caution as players get into early foul trouble.
And there's a rare sight. Fisher missing, but Perth win the ball back. Grace for 3.
Well, that's a fairly important shot for Ricky Grace. It's his 5th point for the match and came from beyond the 3-point range and puts it back to a 5-point split.
Whitehead, there's Gaze. Just cannot get away from Torrance. So much pressure on Andrew Gaze. Copeland, will he take on Grace? He does. Bradkey, great offensive rebound from Mark Bradkey. And he has got 7 rebounds already.
And he has been a real danger sign out there for the Wildcats as Ricky Grace sits down. Watterson comes in. Bradkey, as he did in game 2, dominating the first quarter on the backboards.
Fisher, Catalini, Torrance a 3-point specialist. Vlahov, Watterson gets past Whitehead.
That'll come off the Tigers' hand. Little tentative action out there, Michael, coming from the Wildcats offense. They look a little bit static right now.
Yeah, a little bit of standing around waiting and watching to see what the guy with the ball is going to do instead of just getting that free movement going. And Vlahov just did that time, and he may have paid dividends for it.
Oh, good work, Vlahov. Back to Fisher. Credit one of those points to Andrew Vlahov.
Well, gee, shots are hard to come by from the Wildcats in the Keyway. Tremendous defence, intimidating defence from the Tigers.
Oh, Giddy turns the ball over. Another chance for Perth. They're down by 5. Bradkey, here comes a dunk from Copeland. What's this? Whoa, Leonard Copeland.
Costly turnover there from Watterson. 24 plays 17. Within the last 40 seconds of the first quarter, Tigers just consolidating. Low-scoring quarter, Dean.
Oh, I don't know how the players feel, but I've got so many butterflies in my stomach. A crucial stage for the Tigers. They've got 2 of their big rebounders on the bench at the moment, and the last 2 times that the Wildcats have scored has been from offensive boards.
Watterson, Crawford, Whitehead and Catalini going at it off the ball. There's Watterson again, drives down the middle, dishes back outside, Torrance for 3, short arms it, rebound Crawford, he throws up the 2, and in it goes for James Crawford.
Giddy out-muscled underneath, good non-call there was contact but it was incidental. Andrew Gaze with the last shot of the quarter from way downtown.
Watterson, the Hail Mary at quarter time here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. It's the Melbourne Tigers leading the Perth Wildcats by 5 points, 24-19.
Hey, that John's a little different. He wants all his friends to be out there doing things to have fun. He's like a natural athlete. It's his dream house with a trampoline, skateboard ramp. He'll probably have a swimming pool there someday. Just couches all over the living room so people can just crash. Yeah, he's kind of larger than life in a way. No one else like Anton. Kind of psycho and kind of dangerous. He's just a really nice guy. That is a blatant lie.
Every day is a brand new experience, different every way.
Love those new wedges.
Chicken treat, we got $3 specials, different every day. Monday,
Pretty cool for only $3.
Tuesday, $3 special. Wednesday,
This is a great deal.
Thursday and Friday, $3 special. Barbecue.
Every day's my day.
For the West Best barbecue chicken taste, chicken treat the place. I got the taste.
A Town & Country low-cost home loan is affordable and flexible. We can arrange the term and the repayments to suit you. We'll even guarantee you a fast answer with our 48-hour express approval.
And our rates start at 5% for 6 months or 6.95% for 12 months. Then our prevailing rate of just 8.75% will apply.
Whether it's a brand new home loan you're after or you want to save by switching your existing loan, just call us at Town & Country Bank for a flexible low-cost home loan.
The Big Apple is big business.
What do I call you? Call me God.
So can a boy from the farm get the girl of his dreams, bluff his way to the top?
Who are you? Carlton Whitfield.
I didn't get a memo on that.
Nice furniture. Goes with your hair.
In the story of a comical charade, mismatched romance,
I just want to love you.
and corporate chaos.
But you don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
Michael J. Fox, Helen Slater, and Academy Award winner Mercedes Ruehl.
How long have you been going together?
20 minutes.
The Secret of My Success, tonight on 10.
Quarter time here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. It's the Tigers 24, the Wildcats 19. Mike Ellis.
Adrian Hurley very calm and collected, very happy with the first quarter of the Wildcats, even though they're down. Obviously very impressed with the job done on Andrew Gaze so far, but he believes the Tigers are starting to slow down, so he wants more running in this quarter.
Race for three. Dean Templeton.
Lindsay Gaze was emphasising the rebounding of the Tigers, not only getting the thing in the first place, but waiting until they get possession before they run off. Watterson just takes it off Gaze, and away go the Wildcats.
Catalini. No, the Wildcats come out with all guns blazing early in the piece in the second quarter.
Excellent start to the quarter. Consider that Catalini and Watterson off the bench are just firing the Wildcats, and the game is tied up for the second time, 24 apiece. Lowest scoring quarter in the playoffs so far, Dean, from both clubs.
Whitehead.
There's no doubt, John, that the pressure out there was enormous. The teams look a little bit looser now. I think the Tigers would like to keep it pretty low scoring. I think that was to their advantage.
Foul on Bradkey.
Mark Bradkey. I will look very closely, Stephen, at this quarter. I think it's critical. There's no doubt that halfway through the quarter both clubs will have settled down, and we will get some positive indications as to the fitness and the trend of the game.
Fisher at the foul line. Scorers so far, Fisher and Grace 8 points each for Perth. Copeland 6, Bradkey 7, Simmons 5 for the Tigers. Andrew Gaze just had one shot from the field so far and has got 2 points. I beg your pardon, landed one shot from the field, had 2 attempts and says the 2 points.
Well, most of the statistics are very close out there. The shooting percentage, the Tigers 45 from the field, 41 for the Wildcats, 50% from the three-point range for the Wildcats, 33% for the Tigers from three-point land.
Copeland off the glass, won't go, gets the ball back. Lucky break for the Tigers. Gaze for 3.
Just rimmed off to the right there by G. Bradkey's doing a power of work under the backboard. He's matched up again on Fisher as Blahoff is taking a rest. Watterson penetrates, finds Crawford. There's a foul called out here. Crawford with a nice, smart move underneath. Good penetration from Watterson. Looks to me like Andrew Gaze's hand foul, reaching across the top. Excellent penetration, Mike Ellis, from Eric Watterson.
He certainly is doing that very, very well, and that's what Eric does the best. He's come off the bench, he's relieved Ricky of the ball handling duties a little bit, a friendly roll from James, and he's just penetrating very well. The Tigers are expecting the penetration to come from Grace, but Watterson's the one sneaking in from behind.
John, one of the reasons I think Watterson is driving like that is because Andrew Gaze is guarding him, and that's an excellent ploy by Adrian Hurley. You make Gaze work in the defensive end, it takes a bit of pressure, puts more pressure on him up the other end.
Watterson's certainly doing that and doing it well.
Lob pass from Copeland to Gaze, usually see the reverse, and they turn the ball over.
Wildcats in front by the solitary point. 28 plays 27.
Crawford. Oh, big rebound from Bradkey and a foul on Crawford.
That's frustration from Crawford. That's his third. Let's check it for you. I think it will be James Crawford's third foul. Crawford went in, withheld the shot, expected the foul to be called, wasn't called. Then, of course, he's ripped in for the ball. And the first swipe wasn't called, the second one was. Well, danger sign there with Crawford on 3 fouls.
Radke. Whitehead with the ball for the Tigers. It's the Wildcats in front by 1. Copeland, will he take on Watterson? He gets past him, misses, good rebounding by Sibley, and the foul will be on Catalini.
Well, there's another offensive board. That is 8 offensive rebounds for the Tigers. Now, you've got to put that down, A, to the intensity of the Tigers, but to some fairly poor blocking out. They've got to block the person out first. Sibley did well. James Crawford sits down. Blahoff comes back in for the Wildcats.
Hand foul on Trevor Torrance. That's his first personal. Sibley to the line. He shoots 2.
Sibley 1 from 2 so far. Still retains that late.
29-28. Tigers lead by a point. I beg your pardon, it's 28 apiece. Watterson. Grace. Up goes the shot, draws the foul on Sibley.
Nice knifing move there from Ricky Grace. That favoured left hand is so potent. Took the dribble and then knifed sideways in between Copeland and Sibley. Sibley's coming across to help, but all he gets is the foul. That's his 3rd. He'll sit down and Simmons comes back in. 48 apiece. Grace with a chance to break the deadlock.
Ricky Grace in game 2, 23 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds.
He was only just short of a triple-double, wasn't he? 2 rebounds short of a triple-double, which would be a marvellous effort in a playoff game. He is the focal point of the Wildcats' offence. There's contact. Blahoff's checked out one of the spectators as he's gone through. By gee, how dangerous is that situation as well, Stephen, if you look at the foul count. You know, there's no doubt that Blahoff was playing with intensity, but he does have, well, he only has 1. That would have been his 2nd one. But with Crawford on 3, the Wildcats would not have liked an extra foul there on Blahoff.
Whitehead. I was amazed Blahoff didn't murder someone sitting courtside there. He's going a million miles an hour. It's a great vantage point where they're sitting, but
fairly close, and that's one of the things that's unique about this entertainment centre here in Perth. The crowd are very, very close to the action.
Tigers in front by 1. 9 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Radke denying Fisher the pass. The entry wasn't there. Now he gets it from Rain. A little short. Across the top, Whitehead with the defensive board. 17 rebounds to 14 in favour of the Tigers.
Whitehead drives. Oh, excellent work. Whitehead can't make the basket but wins the ball back.
That was a super penetrating move there by Whitehead off the dribble. Deserved a better fate. Radke operates.
Radke.
Comes back, that'll be on Watterson, I would think. Nice little step around, came off on the right-hand dribble, stepped back, Watterson reached in. Straight across the left forearm of Radke. Tigers lead by 1. Radke on the foul line. 7 points, 8 rebounds.
Tigers have got a lot of faith in Mark Radke's foul shooting. There's only 1 guy lining up, and that's Stephen Whitehead.
That's an old Bruce Palmer ploy, Dean, sending them down the floor.
Well, he makes it.
He was vindicated, wasn't he?
So it's 32-29, Melbourne lead by 3. 8.5 left in the 2nd quarter. Hope you're enjoying the game wherever you're watching. Live and exclusive on Network 10 right around Australia.
Inside to Fisher, he turns, operates on Radke, can't come up with a shot though. Radke has been absolutely tremendous in defence. Struggling just a little bit to run down the floor at the moment, probably looking for a break.
Whitehead. Showing some patience. Now Radke again to Copeland.
Skips the pass across to Copeland. He goes low on the baseline, floats across the top. Radke got a hand to it and kept it alive. Gaze brings it back. Another shot clock.
Gaze for 3 over the top of Torrance and draws the foul.
It's a hand foul on Trevor Torrance, and we were directly behind it, Dean. Certainly looked as if the shot was disjointed with contact.
Yes, it did, but it was a close call. But Andrew struggling to find himself a spot in offence. All credit to the Wildcats' defence at the moment. But I've got to say, with the Tigers with a 3-point lead and Gay scoring as he is at the moment, that's an excellent sign for them.
And that was a 2-point attempt by Gay, so he's at the line for 2 shots.
Well, that'll do a well for his confidence out there. Restores the shooter's touch. 29 the Wildcats, trailing by 5. The Tigers 34. 7.5 minutes before this half-time break comes on as Grace from range hits the front of the rim.
Oh, great work from Fisher accepted the pass from Blahov. Great vision from the captain of the Wildcats.
Give and go play out there. Bradke normally in the first quarter was back to help on those. Certainly enough space as Copeland finds space, and that'll be a foul on Blahov, I think. No, Ricky Grace, 15. Ricky Grace's 3rd foul, Stephen. So we've got James Crawford with 3 and Ricky Grace with 3, and Crawford comes back in for the Wildcats.
John, that was a fairly interesting move by Leonard, wasn't he? Sort of threw the ball in front of him and chased after it.
Yeah, the old catch me if you can. But Copeland looking to penetrate, Michael, and he's certainly been in the first quarter of each playoff game and the second very, very instrumental in getting some sort of a lead, and he's perfect from the foul line.
37-31, Melbourne by 6. Turnover. Tigers have got the numbers. Copeland. No, they thought about it, but it wasn't on. Copeland's got the ball for the Tigers.
Good move there from the Tigers. They were just a pass too early in their offense in game 2. They're more settled. And, of course, Copeland's operating on Grace. Blahov called for the foul on the help coming across. With Grace with 3 fouls, they're clearing out and allowing Copeland to operate on Grace. Andrew Blahov second.
Adrian Hurley a bit disappointed about it. He's standing over here pointing to his temple. I think that means start thinking, boys.
Either that or he's got a headache.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the latter. Well, it may even be both, John, to be honest. But Chris Carroll rotated very well on defence there, and of course he would have drawn the charge had these guys not stuck their hands in there.
The old story, Dean, if you put your hand in, you run the risk and you give the official a chance to call the easy foul.
Yeah, and already this afternoon we've seen the referees are going to be very hard on those hands fouls. They look a little soft, and maybe they are, but they're going to protect the guy with the ball. They'll let you do nearly everything, bar tear a guy's head off without the ball.
Interesting point of the game, 39-31, 8-point buffer to the Tigers.
Blahov. Oh, strong work from Andrew Blahov.
Simmons did well to avoid the foul situation. Gay's on the break there, goes off the glass. That's a magnificent left-handed dribble, transformed to 2 points.
No sign of any hammy problems there. No, Grace drives and won't go in. Foul is called.
On Whitehead. Well, they're both warming to the task now, both clubs. A little more freedom in their offense, transition coming down. That was a marvellous transition basket from Andrew Gaze at one end of the floor. And, of course, he almost did the same at the other end. Foul has been called. That's the 4th team foul against the Tigers, so any more will send them, the Wildcats that is, to the foul line.
Crawford, Carroll, Torrance for 3. Blahov, another offensive rebound. Now Grace driving, and the foul's on Copeland.
Yeah, that was a good, strong move there. Andrew Blahov really looking for somebody to come off the offense. Grace recognised that, slashed down the middle, got the left-hand situation. Copeland wasn't prepared. He came from behind, reached across the left shoulder. Nice, handy little lead there, Dean, for the Tigers at this point of the game.
Yes, it is, but as we saw in game number 2, John, the Tigers do seem to struggle a little in the second quarter, and I believe they come out of the block so quickly that they really do tire early. I think Leonard's looking a little tired at the moment. Of course, Mark Bradke really had to come out and have a break. They need to shore up these last 6 minutes and work hard just to stay, keep that lead. It'd be very handy for them.
Giddy with the basketball for the Tigers. There's Simmons. Gaze. That's 6 points in the game so far. Alley-oop to Simmons. Good work from Crawford. He chipped in. Now it's a turnover. Wildcats into attack. Almost a steal from Giddy. Grace, good work to win it back. Pass to Vlahov. Off the glass. Crawford tips it in. No, won't drop it. It's still a Perth ball. Lucky break for the Wildcats. Carroll back to Vlahov.
That'll be a foul on Simmons as well.
And Vlahov is hurt.
Yeah, there's contact, heavy contact as they've landed. I suspect it was after the initial contact. We'll try and pick it up for you, of course. But as Vlahov went down, I think he's just simply winded. Good pass from Carroll. The initial foul was contact, and then I think the heavy land there on the hip and thoracic area. By gee, what a difference when Bradkey's not on, Dean.
The thoracic area. Now, that one I like. That's is that his back?
Well, I didn't want to say he was chesting up.
Oh, it's his chest. Shows my anatomy lessons weren't that good, but it's a very strong move then by Vlahov. But I still think that the Tigers, it's a very crucial stage for them. I think they've got the Wildcats have the fitness edge. They've got to hang in there through the last 5.5 minutes.
3 points the difference out here. Andrew Gaze has found a little touch in this quarter. It'll be interesting to see just what sort of pressure on the transition the Wildcats can exert. Bradkey's had to come in. He's the difference to their rebounding potency.
Giddy. Spectacular move from Warwick Giddy.
And you'd have to say, with all due respect to Warwick, that is a bonus for the Tigers. Reverse layup. He hasn't scored in these playoff games against the Wildcats so far. Every point he gets is a bonus for the Tigers.
Great. Another three. And he is doing some serious damage now for the Wildcats. He's 14 points, 3 from 4 at the three-point line. Copeland, spectacular again.
Again, the lack of foul cushion from Grace. Copeland's starting to work on him.
Fisher for 3. Crawford.
Strong move. Had the left arm up, held Bradkey back, put it off the glass. 2 points the difference. Copeland operating again. Grace looking for the transition. Bradkey off the glass.
It is raining points at the moment. 47-43. Melbourne by 4. Just over 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
Probably a little bit too much offensive movement out there, Dean, as Grace coughs up the ball. Boy, that was danger time for Ricky Grace. Thought there might have been a foul.
That was a good call. He really, Andrew, unfortunately, just really tripped on himself. But everything's happening in this game at the moment.
I wouldn't say it's skill or talent out there right now, Dean. It's grand final stuff.
Right now, that's the difference there. Crawford's starting to get on top on the offensive boards. The Tigers haven't got their major rebounders out there. They've got Bradkey, Sibley and Simmons on the bench. That's where the Wildcats are making a difference.
And a timeout here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. It's the Tigers 47 leading the Perth Wildcats 45. Back in a moment.
Waltzing Matilda,
The Mitsubishi Magna is now earning Australia over $300 million in export dollars. To everyone who's helped build this success, we say thank you. To all other Australians, we say, please consider.
Here's a $3 chicken treat Monday special. Coming your way. Oh, yeah. Monday.
Monday's a new chicken and potato wedges $3 special.
Pretty cool for only $3.
$3 special chicken treat. I got the taste.
The biggest racing carnival of the year has begun, but the best is yet to come. On Tuesday, join our expert commentary team for all the action and best tips for the big one, Foster's Melbourne Cup Day, only on 10.
I'll tell you it's love,
Well, with just under 4 minutes before half-time, it looks to me like both coaches will be looking for a little bit more structure in their offences. How is it over there, Dean?
Well, Lindsay Gaze, as we have another look at that Andrew Gaze no call. Really, I thought where I was it was a good decision, but you never know. And Lindsay Gaze is really saying to his guys, let's keep that wall going. He's just talking about just going hard to the boards and running the game. He really wants this team to be aggressive.
Well, Adrian Hurley was saying, and there's another foul. Oh, Torrance really saying he didn't touch him, but the ball really came up short. I don't think Andrew's ever going to shoot it that short, so I'd have to say there was a foul on that one. But Adrian wants his team just to take their time a little bit more on offense. He said, just getting a little bit quick with what we're doing. Take your time, have a look at your options, then kick the ball onto the next person.
Andrew Gaze on the foul line. That was the second foul on Torrance. What's Andrew been like from the foul line? He's usually absolutely perfect out there. He is tonight, 3 from 3.
49-45. Tigers lead the Wildcats by 4.
Interesting move out there. Ray Gordon has come on for Leonard Copeland. Let's see if we can pick up what sort of defence the Tigers have gone into out there as Fisher put under pressure. Blahop put out of the game with a little bump out there. Back to it now.
Off the ball, Crawford or Whitehead?
I'd suggest it's probably Whitehead. Whitehead knowing that he's got to deny Crawford the slash cut across the keyway. Otherwise, the entry will be a good night. He's out-muscled out there, and there's certainly plenty of leaping ability. That's his second foul. Whitehead will try and deny possession by fronting Crawford. That simply sends Crawford to the foul line. Crawford was 10 from 12 in game 2. So far, he's begging a little bit for points. Only has 8, but he's perfect from the foul line. That's 3 from 3.
John, there's a lot of physical work going on down here. The guys are not running around screens. They're running straight through them. It doesn't matter who's there. And it's finals basketball. That's the way it should be.
Melbourne leads by 2. Gaze up to 8 points, so he's slowly coming into it. Torrance doing an excellent job on him. Whitehead. There's Gaze. Bradkey trying to create some sort of position.
Crawford has 3 fouls. Bradkey knows that. Well, that was a good non-call as well. If Bradkey had have maintained that forward momentum, it would have been an offensive foul. As it is, he coughs up possession, gives the Wildcats a chance with just under 3 minutes to tie the ball game.
Crawford scores a level, 49 apiece. Scoring a lot more freely in this second quarter. Gaze takes a tumble. Whitehead to Gaze. Gordon's free three-point territory, screaming for the ball. Bradkey instead.
That's a floating jump hook that is almost impossible to stop. Bradkey, enormous influence so far. That's his 13th point. He has 8 rebounds to go with those points.
Fisher. Blahov. Nice pass, Bradkey. Torrance can't tip it in, and Bradkey the big rebound. Now Gaze, Blahov. He's going to hip and shoulder him there for a moment.
Well, there's certainly no beg pardons, all right. Transition defence has been good from both clubs.
Tigers lead by 2. Gaze for 3.
Yep. All his range, and the Tigers bench realise how important that is, as does the crowd back in Melbourne.
Blahov drives to Perth ball.
5-point lead, 1.5 minutes before half-time. Grace comes in. Trevor Torrance sits down. Good move. Torrance tiring just a little bit. That allowed the long shot from Gaze.
And a timeout this time called by Lindsay Gaze for the Melbourne Tigers. It's 54-49. Melbourne are in front by 5 points. There's the field shooting percentage. 50% for the Tigers. Wildcats 41. Let's listen in on the coach of the Tigers, Lindsay Gaze.
Come on, folks, put your hands together for the beat now.
There's that important 3 from Andrew Gaze. He's now up to 11 points, and that'll give him plenty of confidence.
Yeah, good execution. He was down in game 2 out there. He had 23 points at half-time in game 1 and 16 in game 2, so he's resurrecting. And that good shot from range was his first conversion from beyond the 3-point line.
Have something organised. Run plays and time down. Ladies and gentlemen, the Italian country dancers.
Dean Templeton, what exactly was Lindsay stressing at that timeout?
I think he was talking to individuals about their offences. Andrew in particular, John spoke about execution. He really does want him coming off those picks looking for his shot. He's having a terrible time getting free, but I don't think there's much longer to go before he starts to pump down a few more points.
Grace. Gordon's got the job on Grace. We saw an interesting clash between those two at half-time in game 2. 2 more points for the Wildcats, 54-51.
I think it's an interesting move from Lindsay Gaze to bring Gordon on at this point. Critical situation. He just might antagonise Grace out there and cause the unexpected.
Bradkey. Gordon for 3. Not this time. Whitehead can't get the rebound. Grace.
Oh,
It is a charging foul. What a big call.
That is his 4th foul. That is a huge call.
And what clever work from Gaze.
He stood there, held his ground.
Ooh. Well, did he?
Well, guys, I tell you, I had a look at Billy Milcall, and I also had on the other side Eddie Crouch. Eddie looked like he was pointing the other way. Yeah. So, Eddie looked at it and thought, well, Billy had the better position, so he's going to let him take the call. And that's a big blow for the Wildcats.
It looks to me as if there was contact both ways. Certainly, Gordon is sending Grace to the bench.
Ray Gordon doing a little bit of stirring out there, Dean Templeton.
Yeah, well, I think that may be why he was out there, and unfortunately Ricky Grace is on the bench now with 4 fouls. It was a pretty tough call, but I don't think it's going to change.
Gaze, 2 more, the Tigers 56, Wildcats 51. Less than a minute remaining in the second quarter. Fisher. Oh, defensive breakdown by Melbourne, and Watterson makes the most of it.
Good vision by Fisher. Saw Watterson on the back door there. Sweet little pass.
Gaze with the ball. Clock winding down. 3 points the margin. 17 on the shot clock. Just about in sync with the game clock.
Gaze for 3. Under pressure, no. But the Tigers get it back. Gordon for 3. Bradkey keeps it in. Crawford. Watterson, the Hail Mary, and it wasn't that far away. So what a fantastic first half of basketball as Ricky Grace goes over and gives Billy Milcall a bit of a working over about that last foul. But at halftime, it's the Tigers leading the Wildcats by 3 points. It's 56-53.
For me, the fact that it's organic is very reassuring because I know there's nothing artificial added. I think if you care about yourself and your family, you'd have to believe that organic Vitabrits are better for you.
Leave your brake work to WA's favourite specialist repairers and you get a fixed price job that's so good it's guaranteed for 12 months or 24,000 Ks. Call in for a free brake check.
If your brakes need work for a fixed price, they'll give you all this for just $95. Amazing. All this from the best in the business for just $95 with a money-back guarantee.
Auto Masters makes.
Every week, Western Australian Lotto players win over $1 million. Are you getting your share?
find out more, give SGAO a call.
These are the hot shoes for summer. The shoes everyone's gonna pay big bucks for. Except at Bets and Bets. Because right now, Bets and Bets are having one hot summer shoe sale. Our hottest selling ladies' shoes on sale before summer even starts. $20 off casuals, $10 off courts and platforms, up to $20 off Brazilians, and kids' shoes to clear. The hot summer shoe sale, now on at Bets and Bets.
It's a love story that's totally off the planet.
Daddy, don't you think this is pretty strange?
She's every man's dream come true.
We only met 3 hours ago.
I know, it took you so long.
She's from out of town.
You're the most incredible thing that's ever happened to me.
The seductive Kim Basinger.
1, 2, 3. Okay, ladies win.
Stars with the madcap Dan Aykroyd.
Daddy, you married a person from another planet.
8:30 Monday, My Stepmother is an Alien.
Welcome back to Sunday Basketball live around Australia, and one great Game 3 of the Grand Final Series. I'm sure our commentators in Perth will agree. Back to Stephen Quartermain and John Gardner.
Yes, thanks, Bill. I'm sticking with the Tigers, John, but there's just absolutely nothing in it, is there?
Nothing whatsoever. And the third quarter is the championship quarter, has been Perth's best quarter. 3 points, it's all to do again.
And Ricky Grace, what a big call on him just in the last minute or so, wasn't it?
That last call for the offensive foul, that was a huge quarter. Could have an interesting influence upon the game as it winds down.
Andrew Gaze, well, he was off to a slow start, but he's all of a sudden up to 13 points.
Yeah. Well, he's a quality ball player. Copeland was very good in the first quarter. Has scored about 3 of those layups. Boy, they're enjoying it. Torrance hasn't scored. He's been quiet so far. Good little jump hook out there by Crawford.
Let's have a look at the stats at half-time.
Statistically, the shooting percentage for both is down. They have been at 50% during the playoffs. Wildcats further down than the Tigers, hence the difference in the score. From the foul line, both acceptable. 3-point range, again the Tigers down, only taken 8. Whilst 12 have been taken by the Wildcats. Nothing to write about there. Rebounding favours the Tigers, and I would put that down to Bradkey. If you look at the turnover rate, it's all square, and that's why there's only 3 points in the ballgame.
And the top scorers in the game so far, Grace 14, Crawford and Fisher a dozen each for the Wildcats, Lahov 11 for the Tigers, Copeland and Gaze 13, Bradkey 13, Simmons and Sibley 5 apiece. So Bill and Steve, an excellent first half, and I'm sure it's even going to be better in the second half. It's going to go right down to, I reckon, the last 30 seconds or so.
I agree 100%. A terrific game. Not always pretty, but very, very physical, and a great grand final. The Wildcats and Tigers, they're giving it their best shots today. In fact, a few shots have gone in out there this afternoon. Now, the last chance in 93 for them and for you to win a great prize from Nintendo just by answering a simple question. Good luck. Throughout the season, you've got the chance to win state-of-the-art Nintendo systems in our Super Power competition. This week, win the world-beating 16-bit Super Nintendo Entertainment System and the mind-blowing Super Mario All-Stars game, simply by answering the following question. Who won this year's Most Valuable Player Award? Now, if you know the answer, just call one of these 0055 numbers you see on the screen. But you must call before 4:30 p.m. In South Australia, it's 0055 60 517. West Australians call 0055 60 523. In Queensland, your number is 0055 60 527. If you live in New South Wales or the ACT, it's 0055 60 528. For Victorians, the number 0055 60 529. We'll announce a winner from each state at the end of the game, and that is 5 prizes, thanks to Nintendo, the Super Power. And now, well, you know, I don't think these need any introduction. Let's just go. Let's get into it right now. Welcome to the Uncle Toby's Plays of the Year. It was the year Mike Mitchell actually survived the season, but he really tried not to. Yes, the year of living dangerously, as the young gun teaches the old dog a new trick. Luke gives Remus a goodbye gift. Graham Cubank shows you can get a little too much sun up there in Townsville. And the most flagrant act of bullying all year, Dean Uthoff, you should be ashamed of yourself. And Dwayne McLean, that is a terrible, terrible thing to do. Right, Wayne? Stop laughing. And Big Jim doesn't like comments about his haircut, okay? Speaking of haircuts, Bruce Palmer should never have laughed at Freddie's.
the year of blocks, and Steve Voss shows there is something to those haircuts. Darren Lucas comes from Cafe Bay to stun Andrew Gaze. And so does Scott Ninnis. For sheer importance, though, James Crawford's denial of Jason Reese saved a season. The assists. Lachlan Armfield's arm grew a couple of centimetres after this one, and Fred, what a finish. Now, watch Scott Fisher here. He doesn't even know Grace has passed it to him until it's in his hands, but no mistake. Even better, Bruce Bolden never knew where this was going until it swished. Let's look at the no-look. Keogh to D. Ambrosis. Gaze to Copeland. Surprise, surprise. How's this for Bliss if you're on the low post? Morrison, the fast break that ended with the rim shake. Or was it this? Remus over the backboard and in safe hands. Now that is a pass. So many great dunks. From the tip-off, Everett Stevens just explodes away for this. And how about his backdoor break and enter against the Kings? Mike Mitchell returns for his own tip-off crusade, little pause, and then absolute perfection. For a mid-air adjustment, none better than Dwayne McLean. Speaking of adjustments, how about missing the three, then chasing up and making the jam? Ricky Jones found so many ways to slam it in '93, and so did Andre Moore. Paul Maley proves airmail really is the best way to deliver. But give the prize to Robert Rose, who makes it all happen just when you think it's safe to look away. And yet, you don't have to dunk them to make them faint. Kenny Mack. Greg Hubbard, bad miss. Okay, I'll try again. You're kidding! Let's do this right. Michael Morrison, exuberant execution of elastic expectations. Butch Hayes, textbook focus for the kids at home. Andrew Vlahoff, well, he can do everything else. Why not this? Ole. And Mike Mitchell, the no-look pass, easy. Try the no-look shot. Winners, try JC's jam to snatch the game from Canberra. That hurt. Dwayne's tray on the buzzer in Hobart. That hurt even more. Mitchell's three to revive the Rollers. Well, that hurt a little bit. And Copeland's unforgettable sleight of hand against the Magic. That hurt a lot. But this won a car. Okay, Larry and Mike, are you there? Off the ring, in the air, off the backboard, all net. Cute shot of the year, the rapping baby or the raving loony? Take your pick, tech foul too. Hey Andre, I've got plenty on my chest. Screen of the year, Terry Dozier on Rod Johnson. Ooh, not quite. It was Sibley on Torrance, and Trev took a while to rev after that one. Reaction of the year, Rog. Well, it's only a game, Rog. Come on, Rog. Mascot of the year, hey, this guy is going places. Croc, we salute you. Alley-oop of the year could only be these guys. Great adjustment, Leonard. Crazy of the year, well, was it Drewy for daring to play in Disneyland? Or was it this guy for daring to leave the asylum? Take your pick. Maybe it was these guys. We leave you with the buzzer-beating boomers. Firstly from Kenny, and now Andre, and then Leonard. And the man who just seems to turn up at these turnouts, Vlahoff.
Made the three-pointer. He's made the three-pointer before the buzzer.
The plays of the year, brought to you by Uncle Toby's.
He's back, he's here, he's Mario, and Mario 1, 2 and 3 plus the never-before-seen lost levels, but this is new and improved 4 games in 1 Mario. A new Super Mario All-Star, so much Mario, it's a Mario smorgasbord. It's juiced up 16-bit, only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mario. So it's brighter Mario, better Mario, in your face Mario, it's Raccoon Mario, Mario throwing fireballs, Mario hurling turnips, Mario negotiating an arms deal. Okay, maybe not, but it's Mario like you've never seen him. You're gonna live, breathe, eat, sleep Mario. So buy a Super NES now and get Mario All-Stars. With all 4 Mario games, you can't get more Mario than this, but you better get it now.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
these flakes is one whole grain of wheat?
That's right. Simply steamed, rolled and toasted.
How come you know so much about wheat?
Wheaties, 100% whole grain wheat from Uncle Toby's.
Western Australians will win over $7 million playing Lotto this month. Ever thought of joining him?
To find out more, give SGIO a call.
Taxis and fleets fit Ian Diffin's exclusive Changshin steel radials because of their high quality, much lower cost and extremely long tread life, which consistently give them 100,000 kilometres of trouble-free motoring. Now Ian Diffin gives you the same low price taxis and fleet operators enjoy. $59 for small cars, including expert fitting, balancing and new tubeless valve. For family-size cars, only $69, including expert fitting, balancing and new tubeless valve. The same low price taxis and fleets pay at Ian Diffin Tyre and Muffler Centres. The Big Apple is big business.
What do I call you? Call me God.
So can a boy from the farm get the girl of his dreams, bluff his way to the top?
Who are you? Carlton Whitfield.
I didn't get a memo on that.
Nice furniture. Goes with your hair.
In the story of a comical charade, mismatched romance,
I just want to love you.
and corporate chaos.
But you don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
Michael J. Fox, Helen Slater, and Academy Award winner Mercedes Rule.
How long have you been going together?
20 minutes.
The Secret of My Success, tonight on 10.
The finals of the NBL Mitsubishi Challenge, proudly brought to you by Chicken Treat, Automasters, Lotto, Nike, Coca-Cola, Uncle Toby's, and Nintendo.
We're in the home stretch. Let's return live to Perth to see who the champions of '93 will be. Thanks, Phil. Well, Dean Templeton, have you got anything to report at halftime? Any punch-ups today?
No, it was very quiet in the half-time break. I think both teams were more concerned about what they're going to do in their own camps. I really don't know which way this game's going to go. Of course, we can harp on that fourth foul on Grace, but really it's just a sensational game, and I'm just looking forward to the second half. Mike, what about down there in the Perth camp?
Well, I was just watching the Tigers, and there's a steely look on all their faces, but then down this end, the Wildcats have got exactly the same, so this is really intense. There's a lot of atmosphere in the air amongst the players, not only the crowd, so this is just turning into a sensational game.
First possession to the Wildcats. Crawford runs into a wall. Gets the ball back. Great work, Crawford.
Well, that's exactly as the game started. Crawford was triple teamed. Grace is coming up short. Andrew Gaze with the ball. First 6 minutes of this quarter could tell a big story.
Gaze. Block Crawford. Good work again from JC. Now Grace. Torrance. Oh, misses what he should have made. But Grace on lucky break. Wildcats. They've had about 5 cracks at it and still can't put it in.
Well, there are some mistakes made in that little sequence. They may well rue. Torrance missed a layup, and he missed one in the first game as well. It was uncontested. Should have done a little better than that.
Trevor Torrance still hasn't shot a point in the game, and he's averaging 13.5 in the playoffs.
Almost double his regular season's average, but he might be, as well as Andrew Gaze, and there's been a lot of talk made about the fatigue factor. Torrance may be one of those players that's suffering just a little bit.
Sibley off the glass won't go. Great rebound by Vlahov. Simmons lucky not to have a foul call against him. Chopping there, but Rest let it go.
Crawford with the ball. Fisher will come to the top. Torrance underneath. Crawford operates and dishes. That's a long three-pointer and it rolls out. Not the sort of start the Wildcats would want. Not a lot of structure in their offense so far.
Copeland to Bradkey.
Well,
another miss. So they're both missing plenty. Now Crawford back to Grace. He's free. No one near him. And puts it in.
Interesting little byplay there, Stephen. As Ricky Grace got that ball and started to put it to the floor, he could see in his vision Andrew Gaze setting for a pick out there. He very quickly gave the ball up, so there's no doubt that everybody's aware of the foul situation and just how critical another foul on Grace could be.
Copeland, Simmons. Long pass to Copeland's clever. That's not. And another turnover and a cheap foul on Bradkey.
Well, it was a very, very soft foul, wasn't it? Crawford was almost anxious to get the ball out there and almost spilled it. Bradkey reached across the top, almost a carbon copy of the very first foul that Crawford got on Bradkey. Oh, 3 for Mark Bradkey. 3 for Bradkey, 3 for Simmons, 3 for Sibley out of the 5 on the floor for the Tigers at the start of the second half.
Grace.
Well, not only the 2, no, he's cancelled the 2, but he's called the hand foul. And he's called the foul before the shot was taken, so it'll be side ball for the Wildcats. Bernard Copeland with the hole before the shot was taken.
Vlahov, Fisher. Back to Vlahov.
Reverse layup, and he had to go to the reverse side of the bucket because Bradkey was hovering on the near side.
So Wildcats back in front. They lead by a point, 57 to 56. Gay. Double team. Gets it to Bradkey. Back to Gay.
Sibley open on the right, and that's what they paid the price for. Double teaming. Sibley found the space. Gay's found him with the ball.
Tigers back in front by a point. Crawford. Vlahov. Fisher. Foul on Simmons. So another soft one, and that's his 4th.
4 fouls on Simmons, 4 fouls on Grace. Both critical players, both with vastly differing roles. Simmons in the paint on the board, Grace penetrating and running the floor.
Grace to Crawford. For no foul call. Now Gaze with the ball. Copeland. Gaze to Bradkey, has it stripped. Now a chance for the Wildcats. Torrance. Back to Vlahov.
A reverse finger roll there. Andrew Gaze isolated. Torrance gave the ball up. The 2-on-1 came up with a bucket and a 1-point lead to the Wildcats.
A lot of mistakes, isn't there?
Yeah, there's fundamental errors being created here. Copeland with a bit of a hoper. Torrance dishes off to Grace. I think the first team that gets their offensive rhythm into gear here will have a lot to say in the result of the ball game, but there's fairly tentative moves being made by both clubs.
Torrance misses another easy shot. Now Gaze. Travel.
It's got to be a travel, of course. Vlahov extolling the crowd. Lindsay Gaze looking to settle his club down there. I don't think either coach, Michael, would be very happy with the play phases that have gone on.
Certainly not, and they won't be happy with that. Oh, Bradkey, that was a big effort at a block. He's come up with a foul, though, and that puts Bradkey on 4 by the look of things, which is going to
mark Bradkey.
spell danger signs, isn't it?
Dean, that's the sort of emotion that's going to decide the outcome of this game. There's no doubt that Bradkey was saying to Crawford, I don't care where you go, you're not going to get an easy shot. That's 4 fouls, of course, and that type of situation could well decide the game.
Right now, I think the Tigers have left half their game in the locker room. They really have come out a little bit disorganised at both ends of the floor, and they've got to get their act together very quickly, or this game could sneak away from them.
I think Mark Bradkey realised that. He got them all in a huddle and talking pretty aggressively to them.
Yeah, I did make mention at half-time. The third quarter traditionally has been excellent for the Wildcats and not the best quarter for the Tigers throughout the regular season. So we'll see if they run true to form.
Gaze, Simmons. Can't tip it in, Bradkey. Still a Tigers ball. Bit of luck going their way.
There is some fierce defence in that backcourt area.
Copeland knocks it down.
They also took Crawford with him. Both of them are out of play, so it's 4-on-4 at this point.
Grace, Torrance, Fisher. Grace screaming for the 3, for the pass. Fisher goes all the way himself, and in it drops.
It's a good, strong move from Fisher. He almost threw the pass to the sideline, had the presence of mind to come back, and got the benefit of the 2 points. 63 to 60, 3-point lead, or was it? Yes, it still is. Andrew Gaze misses a 3-pointer.
Grace. Vlahov.
See, there's some enormous mismatches, Dean, on the transition out there with Simmons picking up Grace.
Yes, it's a problem for the Tigers at the moment. I really don't think they're quite with it. They've got to get there quickly. Wildcats have come out full of running and look very, very good.
Bradkey.
See, there's not a lot of movement on offense.
Copeland, another shot early. It's not good, but Bradkey. Well, he's keeping him in at the moment, Bradkey.
Bradkey has been the star for the Tigers. Both ends of the floor. Defensively, he's been getting the rebounds and intimidating. Offensively, he's been putting the shots back.
Vlahov for three, and they're dropping for the Wildcats. 66-62, Perth by 4.
That is an inspirational shot from Andrew Vlahov, and in game 2 he hit one from about the same range. This crowd could well be a factor.
Bradkey, back to Simmons, Copeland for three. Yes, responds.
Well, they're trading now. Both coaches would be concerned at the trading as substitutions are made. Catalini comes in for Crawford. Giddy comes in for the Tigers. Sibley's sitting down.
And a timeout here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. It's the Wildcats 66, leading the Tigers 65.
Leave your car's tune-up and service to WA's favourite specialist repairers and you'll get a fixed price job that's so good it's guaranteed in writing for 6 months or 10,000 Ks.
Overdue for a service? Here's the biggest offer ever made by Automasters. All this for just $149. Hurry, book now at Automasters. $149 fixed price and a money-back guarantee.
Automasters makes paradise comes, refrigerated, real iced coffee. Oh, what a thrill! It's all in the way. The coffee's percolated, that's why nothing beats the taste of my new coffee chill. The most perfect combination you ever found. Yes, the taste you really want is brought to you by Brown's.
The seed of doubt. But the damage has been done.
This is my life.
Divided they stand and divided they'll fall.
Just hope you're all satisfied, all of you.
For the chance to take your school to the movies with Greater Union. Get into Class of 96, Wednesday on 10.
Halfway mark of the third quarter, it's the Wildcats leading the Tigers by 1. Mike Ellis.
Adrian Hurley, he said, now is the time to put the foot down, guys. He said, they are really starting to suck down there. He said, they're looking very tight. We want to push the ball, and they look for the offense to really go at Mark Bradkey, try and get him into more foul trouble.
Dean Templeton.
Patience is the key for the Tigers at the moment. They've just got to take their time in offense, get good shots away, suck it up and get that second win.
Gaze.
Well, that's a huge second effort from Andrew Gaze as well. He was banged and bumped as he went through the keyway. Missed the shot, but almost pulled it in for the second effort.
Desperate stuff from Gaze. But it's the Wildcats with the ball, and they're in front by 1. What do you reckon, Dean? Are the Tigers blowing in a bit of air?
Yeah, but I think in a game like this, they can get it back. They'll just play purely and simply on the old G&D. Lindsay Gaze just really gave Billy Milton, Hall referee, a mouthful as he went past.
Rays. Misses. Catalini can't put it. Vlahov! Oh, Bradkey, the big rebound, and Catalini foul.
Why, gee, there's some people playing well above the ring down there. Dean, you're closer than we are to that end of the court.
Andrew Vlahov needed an oxygen mask up there. I mean, it's just phenomenal. The guys, the standard of this game, both teams need to be credited. It's just phenomenal. It's fantastic. And I'm running out of expletives.
Well, there's no doubt that the two clubs out here are worthy contenders for a grand final.
Copeland. Bradkey trying to create some space. Giddy, Copeland again for 2, shoots over Vlahov, in it goes. And the Perth Wildcats now trailed by 1. It's the Tigers 67, Wildcats 66.
Copeland took that shot from behind the backboard as he floated out of court, released the shot with his right hand, it was all net.
That was a very tough shot from the angle I'm at, and I'm just about right behind him.
It'll be a jump ball situation. Inexperience of Catalini there. He could have had the little crossover, taken Giddy on the baseline. Good defence from Giddy.
Lead's changed 8 times in the game so far.
8 lead changes, and we've got about 5 minutes to go before three-quarter time. Good lead there by Catalini.
Fisher, Gaze, well done, steals it. Will he get past Watterson? He can. Fisher can't win it back.
Oh, yes, he's been picked up for that. That was a double dribble. He picked it up and continued to dribble again.
Getting around the defence, he's got the two hands on the ball, picked it up and then put it down, and that's where it's been called as a violation. Well, it's courage now, Dean.
Oh, it's just, it's unbelievable, but there was no doubt about that call. But every play now, there is just so much pressure on the players. Crawford this time. Vlahov's come through like a train.
Copeland tucks it underneath. No one's going to steal it from him. So it's still the Tigers in front by 1. This is just an unbelievable game.
Giddy in the feeder spot. Copeland with the give and go. Copeland comes off the glass, and Copeland looks like he's full of running right now. He's pushing the ball down the floor. That's 22 points from Copeland, 50% from the field.
Grace. Watterson. Crawford. Shoots over the top of Copeland. Catalini can't grab hold of it. It's a Tigers ball.
Simmons got the ball, and the deflection came off Catalini. Lindsay Gay's being told by Robbie Barnett to sit down. I guess that's the first real expression of any sort of frustration I've seen out there from Lindsay Gay's from some time, but that's what's on the line out here.
So it's Melbourne leading Perth by 3. We've got 3 minutes 45 left in the third quarter. Copeland got 22 points. Gaze has got 13, quiet by his standards. What a great defensive job they're doing on the great Andrew Gaze. Copeland, he's starting to lift. Can't put it in that time. Bradkey wins it back and in it drops. Mark Bradkey, 17 points, 16 rebounds.
Huge effort, Bradkey. Tower in the paint. Absolutely dominating on the backboards. At half-time, I think he had 10 rebounds out of a total of 21 for the Tigers.
Guys, that's about a 10-zip run for the Tigers at the moment.
The Wildcats have missed very easy shots.
Copeland the steal! Grace the steal back! Brilliant Ricky Grace!
And Copeland's on the break for the transition. Watterson goes at him, and that's close. Well, we'll call it professional. There's no doubt that Watterson was determined that Copeland wouldn't get an easy attempt at the bucket.
What a great effort by Ricky Grace.
Yeah, great effort. He looked around very quickly at Mildenhall on the situation before that, appealing for the foul, but there was none forthcoming. And, of course, by virtue of the foul of Watterson on the dribbler, the shot wasn't taken, so it goes to the side.
Copeland again. Oh, Lennard's on fire.
He's on fire, all right. What's that, 24 points out there, still shooting at 50% from the field.
Melbourne by 5. Grace. Pass to Crawford. Catalini. Simmons jumping at the bit there. Now Fisher. Catalini again. Boy, is he under pressure from Simmons. Grace. Turnover. Great defensive work, Melbourne.
Showing a lot of courage, the Wildcats bench. They're resisting the temptation to bring either Vlahov or Torrance back in for Catalini. Need to give him a break. Wildcats trailing now by 5. Tigers 73. Wildcats 68, 2 minutes before three-quarter time.
Copeland shoots over Grace. Oh, this is unbelievable from Copeland. He is having a sensational third quarter. 26 points, Tigers by 7.
Yeah, Copeland has started the second half the way he started the first. He's on fire out there. 26 points. What did he have at half-time? He had 13.
Crawford. And didn't the Wildcats need that one?
Well, they needed that bucket. 70, plays 75. 1 minute 43 seconds before three-quarter time. Watterson matching up on Gaze. Grace given the job on Copeland.
First points in about 5 minutes for the Wildcats there. Tigers have hit 13-2 before that last bucket. They've got 2 more there. It's now 75-70 again.
I can only remember
Melbourne by 5.
I can remember a bucket from Gaze and one from Bradkey. The rest was Copeland.
Copeland's really relishing the fact that Grace has got 4 fouls and he's just taking it to him. But I must say, he's looking like he's starting to tire a little bit at the moment, so perhaps someone else will have to pick that scoring slack up for the Tigers at this stage.
Vlahov to Fisher. Misses. Bradkey another rebound.
Well, critical stage here for the Wildcats. The question's been put to them. They're trailing by 7.
Gaze. Back to Bradkey. I don't know how he did it, and he draws the foul.
Well, both Gaze and Copeland, their penetration are giving the Wildcats defence nightmares. Bradkey goes to the foul line after that bucket as well. You can see that he skipped the ball across, the little finger roll, and you can see clearly the contact from Vlahov. Vlahov has 3 fouls.
I just wonder, John, the Tigers seem to have lifted a notch, and it's purely on heart, and you just can't help but
got to admire
your heart on your sleeve with this mob. I tell you what, they've really lifted, but have they gone too early? I mean, you just wonder, it's like the Melbourne Cup, have they let it all go too early?
Well, that's the first foul shot I think that Bradkey's missed for the game, but you've got to expect the physical toll to start to show some sort of effect on both clubs. I think the Wildcats look a little bit tired at the moment, and they've got to make sure they chip away at this 9-point deficit now, otherwise they start the fourth quarter well down.
Fisher. Intimidated out of it by Simmons, and again, Gaze tries to steal it. Vlahov's been fantastic for the Wildcats, leading by example. Torrance misses. Fisher tries to win it back. He can.
That's offensive. Giddy held his position in frustration. Fisher turned. Offensive foul. Right, gee. How about some of those contacts under the bucket? Yeah, there's no doubt on that call. Fisher tried to make space. Copeland's eyes are rolling, Stephen. He's enjoying every bit of this. Blocking foul on Crawford.
Yes, it was on Copeland. He was trying to get past.
Oh, that should be a one-on-one situation. They're checking it out with the score bench at the moment.
John, they had a few problems. The clock kept running. It was about 4 or 5 seconds washed off the clock after that whistle blew.
Well, I guess the pressure of a grand final is getting to everybody.
I'd say at this stage the Wildcats would be more concerned about that than the Tigers. They'd be quite happy to see that clock run down rapidly, wouldn't they?
They'd like it to go for about 6 minutes.
Make it about 12, I suggest.
79-70. Copeland on the foul line. Crawford with 4 fouls.
Copeland 13 points so far this quarter.
Yeah.
Either he or Gaze had to step up, didn't they, this quarter?
Well, there's no doubt that Copeland, I think Gaze has also seen a resurgence out there as well. Hasn't scored a lot of points. He has 15, what did he have, 13 at half-time or something like that. He's only scored 2, but his penetration has given the Wildcats some problems as well. That's given more space and more room to Copeland. Boy, he's in a zone of his own right now.
And this is the biggest lead in the game. It's 11 points, 81-70, and do the Wildcats need a big bucket before three-quarter time? Vlahov's been leading by example for the Wildcats.
Their conversion rate has been very, very poor. They've taken enough shots out there. I think if you look at it, they've taken 11 less shots. It's about 50%, 36% for the Wildcats out there.
That's dropped dramatically, hasn't it?
Sure has.
So Fisher, they really need a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer before the three-quarter time buzzer. Crawford for 2. No, Torrance. Bradkey, another rebound.
That is so typical of
Copeland will have to hurry a half-court Hail Mary.
I'm surprised it didn't go in.
So what a quarter by the Tigers. Look at them, they are pumped up. And at three-quarter time, it's Melbourne 81 leading the Perth Wildcats 70.
Gabbing with Gabby, with Gabrielle Reese, model and volleyball star.
Being a model, I get asked for lots of tips. For one, always wear smudge-proof mascara. Watch your weight. Take things one step at a time. Be aggressive. Boys like it when you make the first call.
What? That was out!
And be friendly. A winning personality can take you far in life. Okay, I'm warmed up. How about basketball?
Coca-Cola.
your brake work to WA's favourite specialist repairers and you get a fixed price job that's so good it's guaranteed for 12 months or 24,000 Ks. Call in for a free brake check.
If your brakes need work for a fixed price, they'll give you all this for just $95. Amazing. All this from the best in the business for just $95 with a money-back guarantee.
Auto Masters makes
6, 21, 19, 35, 23, military pressure, 779.
Mavis!
Over 40,000 Western Australians win lotto every week. This week, it could be you.
Landcare Australia, proudly presented by the Uncle Toby's Company.
Landcare is the most important environmental issue facing Australia, and it's something we can all become involved in. We can start in our own backyards, or we can join a local landcare support group to look after the neighbourhood park, stream or beach, our farming district or water catchment area. It's people like us getting together to care for our country. Call for more information. Let's Landcare Australia.
Wednesday, from saints to sinners, private lives exposed.
Are you asking me, is he my sexual partner?
Whoopi went to a roast and got fried.
Who are you with? Hard copy.
Secrets and scandal the baby Oprah didn't have. Who gatecrashed this wedding? Bill Clinton, that's who. Judy Khan, Laugh-In star, and...
You would kick me with cowboy boots on?
The battered wife of Burt Reynolds. Plus, Roseanne, the rumours of incest. Hard copy, Private Lives, 8:30 Wednesday on 10.
This game is far from over, but at the moment it's the Tigers leading the Wildcats by 11 points. This is the start of the final quarter. Gentlemen, talk to me from the sidelines. Dean Templeton.
Not much you can say. All the cliches come out. This is it. Lindsay Gage knew it. Tried to calm the boys down a little bit, but they're going to go as hard as they did in that third term.
Big block from Simmons. Grace. Fisher for 2. Again a miss. Crawford, sensational, slaps it back out. Now Torrance, inside to Fisher. Pass to Crawford. Vlahov. Great defensive work. Tigers, it's a jump ball. Mike Ellis.
Adrian Hurley very calm and collected there in that talking there. What he had to say mainly was that the guys are hurrying their shots too much and they're a bit nervous with them. He said, just take it up strong, don't look for the foul, just put the ball in the hole, and there's a long time left in this game. We want to keep running. They will tire. He keeps him stressing that.
Well, it's interesting because I believe that the Tigers were the ones that were full of running just before three-quarter time, and that surprised me because the Wildcats came out after half-time and they were full of running. All credit to the Tigers, they've turned it around. 11 points is a big ask, Stephen.
Well, a couple of interesting stats in the second half of that third quarter. The Tigers, as Grace goes for 3, makes it! In the second half of that third quarter, the Tigers outscored the Wildcats 19-4, but Perth has won from this situation before against Melbourne in 1991. They were 11 down at three-quarter time and got up and won, so they've done it before. There's no reason to say they can't do it again.
Well, it's interesting, of course, that year they won their second flag, and they'll have to do just as well if they need to get back in it. Good pressure from Grace. It came off Copeland's foot. But by gee, history's in the making, isn't it? The Tigers have not beaten Perth since 1984 when they joined the league. That's a great historical situation they've got to overcome. And of course, the Wildcats right here have a chance, if they can get up, to become equal with Brisbane as 3-time title holders.
Vlahov. Grace. Shoots. No, yes he does, but it's not at all a very good shot. Now Copeland, double team.
That'll come off the Wildcats though. Good double team. I think I just said with Brisbane in that last situation, it was Canberra. They've been the 3 times title holders, 83, 84 and 88.
Remembering the Tigers have never won an NBL title. The Wildcats have won 17 straight games at home. And the Tigers, as John just said, have never won here.
Well, after over 30 games, it comes down to this. 10 minutes before full time, Mitsubishi Challenge Trophy on the line.
8 points the difference in favour of the Tigers. Copeland sensational in the third quarter. He had the hot hand. Sibley. He was left alone and makes the most of it.
That is critical from Sibley. That's a very important bucket.
10 points. Tigers lead again. Grace.
Great defensive effort. Stop the penetration. They've done a good job in stopping the penetrating drives by Ricky Grace today.
His Australian teammate snapping at his heels, Mark Bradkey. Now Vlahov, he was free for the three, changed his mind. Torrance. Back to Vlahov. Fisher.
Shot clock's at 6.
Vlahov for three, he's made most of them, but he didn't make that one.
Wildcats offense doesn't look very pretty at the moment. I'm concerned because they are static at the other end. The Tigers are settling into their rhythm, looking to pass the ball through several sets of hands before they take the shot.
Defence, the crowd is screaming. Copeland, one-on-one against Grace. Up goes the shot, not this time, but a lucky break for the Tigers. They got the rebound. They'll start again.
Another shot clock, of course, and that puts all the pressure on the home club. They trail by 10. 9 minutes remaining in this quarter as it's starting to hot up.
Gaze. Sibley, Bradkey, Simmons is free underneath.
Still free, and so is Sibley.
Sibley, missed what he should have made, but another 30 seconds on the clock for the Tigers. Gaze back to Bradkey, this time off the glass.
Well, credit to Bradkey. Tremendous effort on the rebounds out there. What's he got so far? 19 rebounds. Huge effort. Wildcats struggling to contain him.
Two rookies coming on for the Wildcats, Carroll and Catalini.
It's called a break to get the chest down to a regular deal and the pulse to stop raining out there. Well, that's a courageous effort by Hurley.
Vlahov. Misses Simmons. Copeland, everything going the Tigers' way at the moment. They're in front by 12 points, the biggest lead in the game, 85-73. Good work from Vlahov, but it's a Tigers ball.
Well, a lot of strength out there, there's no doubt about the contact.
Bit of a logie effort there.
Simmons was looking at the elbow as well. I suspect there was a bit of contact.
Not that much, though.
No, you've got to add a little bit to it.
Just a little backhander to keep you on your way, that's all.
Just to make sure you're awake.
Sibley. Off the ball, Simmons and Vlahov at it. And a whistle has been blown. Who's the foul on?
On Carroll. Chris Carroll has come on. It'll be a holding foul. Chris Carroll given the job on Andrew Gaze.
Pretty big ask, isn't it, John, to have Chris Carroll? He hasn't played a lot of minutes during the playoff series to come in and pick up Gaze.
I think it's a huge ask. I'm surprised, of course, that he's come in this late in the game. Did an excellent job in game 2, had some cameo minutes. I suspect I would have been inclined to try him just a little bit earlier, but it is a big ask at this point.
Simmons back outside, almost a turnover for the Tigers. Now it is a turnover. Here's a chance for Perth. Catalini back to Carroll. Oh, big block from Sibley. Fisher.
That's a huge block to get down the floor. Trap that. Wildcats favoured by numbers. Trailing by 10. Tigers doing it well at 85. Low scoring grand final.
10 points the margin. Vlahov almost a steal. But not quite. Still a Tigers possession. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Gaze.
Baseline.
Shoots over Carroll and in it drops for 3. What a big bucket for the Tigers.
88 plays 75. Very comfortable cushion. Long way to go as this one drops, but it doesn't. They're trading.
Great stuff, Andrew Vlahov. It's back to 10 points the difference again. What a game Vlahov has had. 21 points.
Well, it's interesting if you talk about statistical history. Wildcats have rarely been beaten if Vlahov scores over 19, but by gee, they've got a big comeback from here. Tie up by Grace. Keep in mind, Grace has 4 fouls.
Great work by Ricky Grace. Almost at the halfway mark of the last quarter, and it's the Tigers in front by 10.
Fisher sits down, as does Chris Carroll. Watterson comes back in. We've got a timeout, Stephen. Scoreline locked up, favouring the Tigers by 10. 6 minutes 47 before free time.
Leave your car's tune-up and service to WA's favourite specialist repairers and you'll get a fixed price job that's so good it's guaranteed in writing for 6 months or 10,000 Ks.
Overdue for a service? Here's the biggest offer ever made by Automasters. All this for just $149. Hurry, book now at Automasters. $149 fixed price and a money-back guarantee.
Automasters makes every day is a brand new experience, different every way.
Love those new wedges.
Chicken treat, we got $3 specials, different every day. Monday,
Pretty cool for only $3.
Tuesday, $3 special. Wednesday,
This is a great deal.
Thursday and Friday, $3 special. Barbecue.
Every day's my day.
For the West Best barbecue chicken taste, chicken treat the place. I got the taste.
Mel Gibson, Angry Anderson, Tina Turner.
Dying times here.
In the future, there are no rules.
Anything's possible. Chance decides.
Prey is out there somewhere. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Thursday.
6:47 left in the game. Crisis time for the Wildcats. They're down by 10. We've got a jump ball. It's Copeland against Grace.
Well, easily. Copeland, easily.
Tigers got out to a 13-point lead. Now back to 10. Copeland gets past Grace. Misses what he should have made. Gets a second chance at it and makes it. 12 points in front. Tigers.
Been the man. That's his 30th point for the match.
Catalini tries to reply. Can't. Number 20 as far as rebounds go for Bradkey. Gaze. Simmons
will pull it up and they'll start again. This man will go wherever he can get Copeland. He's been electric. Long time to go. Half a quarter remaining and it's all on the line here. Andrew Gaze with the jump shot. Gets the 2 and is that Ricky Grace with his 5th? Bucket counts. Foul is on 15. Ricky Grace has 5. Well, should be subbed out, I would imagine. Let's see, it's Catalini sitting down, so there's not going to be any rest here.
Well, you can't really sub out Grace now, can you?
No, it'd be different if they were up close and the margin was narrow, but right now the Wildcats have got it all to do. This man on the line has found his form at the right time. It was quiet early, I think that's helped him.
And it's 15 points the difference. See what a comeback this could be if Perth can get up. But everything in the Tigers' favour at the moment. Vlahov, Watterson, Fisher, misses, rebound Simmons. They're just not dropping for Perth.
No, that'll be on Vlahov if he's not careful. Tigers have the upper hand. Now it comes down to control.
Sibley to Bradkey. Tigers calling all the shots. Now Gaze. 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Jump ball situation, I suspect.
Well, he should take it because it's...
No, he called it a travel, I think. Thought he called a jump to start, but it's been called a travel on the deal.
No, I think you'll find Johnny's actually called the 5-second violation without Gaze doing anything. Therefore, the possession goes to the Wildcats.
Right. Vlahov, another 3. Oh, Andrew Vlahov. 24 points. That's his 4th three-pointer.
They need a few more of those. They're trailing by 12. John Watterson, and of course that's the second foul on Watterson's. It's the third team foul, I should say. Well, it may have been the 4th. That's also Watterson's 3rd.
Dean Templeton, you can't speak highly enough of Andrew Vlahov's performance this afternoon.
I really can't speak highly enough of all the players out there. I think the game has just been a credit to every one of them, and I'm not convinced that it's over yet. It's so close.
Copeland for 3, makes it!
Boy, 33 points for Lamar Copeland.
15 points the margin. Less than 5 minutes in the game. Grace bullet-like pass to Vlahov.
Good left-hand reverse layup.
Gaze.
Well, just under 5 minutes. 83 for the Wildcats, 96 for the Tigers. Tigers have effectively closed down the running game of the Wildcats.
Grace to Vlahov. Thought about the 3. Now to Crawford. Another 2-pointer. It's 96-85. 11 points the difference. The Tigers led by 15. Just a few seconds ago. Now Simmons. Bradkey.
It's out of control right now. Tigers need to be positive, but they've got to control the ball out there. Don't go negative. Wildcats have got to be a little bit more desperate.
Sibley. 6 seconds left on the clock. 4. Copeland will have to shoot. Simmons will have to hurry. Up shot goes. Sibley tries to tip it in. No. Sibley wins it back for Melbourne.
Huge effort.
Desperation stuff.
Huge effort. That's what championships are made of.
Offensive rebounds have really hurt the Wildcats tonight. The Tigers have done a sensational job of getting those second chance points.
Simmons. Tigers in absolutely no hurry whatsoever.
Comfortable with 11, the same as the three-quarter time margin.
Sibley, Gaze, they'll have to hurry. Mile out for 3, off the glass, no. Grace the rebound. Now a chance for Perth. Watterson for 2. Foul is called. It's on Sibley. 2 shots for Eric Watterson.
That's the first penetrating drive we've seen from the Wildcats for some time. Lindsay Gaze searching for his first title. Been at the helm of the Tigers since '84 in this league.
Foul situation, 5 on Ricky Grace, 4 on Simmons, Bradkey and Sibley for the Tigers.
Watterson on the foul line. He's been perfect throughout the playoff series. 100% from the foul line. Points the margin.
Great work. Eric Watterson is now less than double figures the difference. It's back to 9 points. The Tigers led by 15. They don't want to go negative. Wildcats are not done with yet.
Oakland's been the money man.
Bradkey under pressure from Fisher. Simmons.
Go to Gaze or Copeland. The ball carriers will get the ball here. Shot clock down to 7, 6, 5, 4.
Bradkey shoots off the glass. What a big bucket for Bradkey.
Mark Bradkey, 23 points and 20 rebounds.
It's 11 points the difference again. 2.5 left in the game. Grace, good assist to Crawford. Makes no mistake. 9 points the difference. Double team Gaze, fouls on Watterson. Gaze will go to... No, he won't. That'll be the 4th team foul.
The sideline, Steve, you're going to say, what?
Yes,
He'll go to the sideline.
And a timeout called by the Perth Wildcats. It's 98 to 89.
Long time to go in a ball game, but by the same token, I am impressed with the way the Tigers have controlled the tempo in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They were asked the question and they've had the answers.
Well, they're far from spent, the Wildcats.
But they've got to get their running game going, and they haven't been able to do that today, I should say, because of the enormous effort on the backboards out there. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant, the Tigers, that is, on the backboards. Bradkey has been marvellous. 20 rebounds in a game of this quality. It's hard to match. Three-point shooting percentage, of course, could be vital as we get down to the stretch out there. Look at the rebounds out there. The Tigers have only led by 2, but they've had 19. Well, I don't know that I can accept the statistic of 24 for the offensive boards for the Wildcats. I think that's not right.
Mark Bradkey. Under pressure, off the glass, in it drops. He's got 23 points and 20 rebounds. Dean Templeton, what did Lindsay Gaze have to say?
Well, he said a lot, but I think basically what he's trying to get across to the guys is don't go negative, be as positive as you possibly can and protect the ball. Now, I don't know if you can do that sort of thing or not, but they're close to winning the championship, the Tigers, and it's a tremendous feeling down on the bench. Mike Ellis, money time for the Wildcats.
Very much, and you'll see a lot of gambling defence by the Wildcats at this stage. They know it's time. They've got to make the chances. A lot of double teaming, trying to steal the ball or at least make the Tigers cough it up.
Gaze, Simmons.
A little bit of a weave out here. That'll be Vlahov's hand foul. That's his 4th.
What a sight, Andrew Vlahov coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
More importantly, it puts Copeland on the foul line.
That's his fourth personal. Team foul situation, Perth.
Only the fourth personal on Andrew Vlahoff, so not a problem for him. 2:11 left in the game. Copeland at the foul line. He's got 33 points. That's the game high. And it's the Tigers in front by 9. They'll be obviously hoping here in Perth he'll miss this one, but he doesn't.
Never looked like missing. He's been superb. 34 points out there, 7 rebounds. He has 1 assist, but he can't do the assist maker and the scorer at the same time, or really 35 points.
It's Melbourne by 11. 2:07 left in the game. Grace, Fisher, Crawford for 2. 100 to 91. Again, defensive pressure from the Wildcats. Gaze to Copeland.
Good poise there, and at the other end Bradkey's open. He'll bring it out. Simmons in the other Castagrona's ball carrier. The 2 big men for the Tigers playing a little keep off at the moment.
Copeland back to Sibley. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Simmons shoot, does, draws the foul on Fisher.
That'll put Simmons on the foul line, and the Wildcats can see their season just fading. They've only been able to put 91 points on the board so far. The Tigers have got 100.
Timeout call by the Perth Wildcats yet again. 1 minute, 33 seconds left in the game. The Tigers 100, the Wildcats 91, and the Tigers are at the foul line.
Come on, folks, everybody put your hands together. Take your lead from the dancers now. Let the Cats know we're here with them in the house this afternoon.
That's that one's so far out.
Well, there's the Gaze family in Melbourne, Margaret and Melinda. They're just 1.5 minutes away from perhaps the celebration. They're looking a bit more composed than a few Tigers here at the moment.
Well, they have been wanting for so long. This is the closest they've been. And of course, we made mention at the start of the program that the Tigers have never defeated Perth in Perth. History in the making.
John, you've got to give, and Steve, you've got to give a lot of credit to Leonard Copeland. Early this season, he was criticised widely. His points per game were way down. But has he stepped up in this final series? And this afternoon, well, he's just been unconscious.
Oh, and Simmons supreme at the foul line. A bit like putting for a major championship at the moment, isn't it, when you're at the foul line?
No nerves here, I would think.
And Simmons makes them both. So it's Melbourne out by 11. Surely the Wildcats couldn't steal it from here.
That 11-point margin has been the same since three-quarter time.
Fisher, Grace.
Simmons on Grace.
Grace, Fisher for 3. He has to make it. Does!
Well, he has to make the possible. Sibley's gone out in that last play phase. He's come back in behind the bench. And now if they can get the ball down quickly enough, of course, there's bound to be a foul.
And the foul is on Vlahoff.
Well, Simmons is up. He's not too worried about the contact at this point. He's in the box seat right now. Clock does stop, of course. Simmons, we just saw, put a brace of foul shots together.
Pushing foul on Andrew Vlahoff.
Jesus, like that Mack truck coming at you. Oh. Fisher and Vlahoff.
Simmons to the line.
So Simmons at the line again.
Simmons would have known what the intent was as well. There's the Tigers bench.
Oh, Dave Simmons makes it again.
Whitehead praying or what?
Well, the pressure. And not this time. So the Wildcats still alive. Some big three-point bombs coming up. Watterson runs into Gaze, and the foul's on Gaze.
Well, I suspect there may not have been that call made, except Watterson lost control of the ball.
That was exactly right, John. It was very good refereeing by Buddy Crouch. He had a look at what happened to Watterson immediately after the contact was made, saw that he lost control of it, and then made the foul on him. He wanted to give him an opportunity to get the shot up.
Well, of course, the alternative was that he had to call the violation for the travel, and of course, that was double jeopardy, so the Wildcats get the ball from the sideline. Andrew Gaze with his second foul. 58.4 seconds. Well, miracles sometimes happen. Right now, you'd have to say the Tigers would be extremely unlucky to lose this ball game.
Grace misses. Oh, a bit of holding there. Bradkey, well done to Copeland. Copeland for two, short arms it.
That was too short. It was too close.
Gee whiz. So, a lucky let off for Perth. They're still alive.
Of course, only 4 seconds went off the clock. It's on Gaze. Freely admitting yes. That's the fourth foul, so any more from the Tigers will stop the clock and put the Wildcats on the foul line. 42.4 seconds.
Vlahov for another monster. Oh, Andrew Vlahov.
A huge three-pointer and a jump shot to boot. That'll be on Fisher, and Gaze will make the trip. Well, little wager, Dean. How many foul shots are we going to see in this last 30-odd seconds?
We're going to see plenty. Right now, the Tigers are in the box seat, but from Steve Quartermain and my point of view, we'd like to get a little closer, because in the sweep, I think we had 2 points.
That's being checked now.
So Gaze at the foul line.
Well, under pressure, and he's missed it.
So a chance for Perth. They're only down by 6. Less than 30 left in the game. Huge screen set by the Wildcats. Fisher makes the 3.
Well, no panic from the Tigers bench. 21 seconds to see another foul. This time it's on Ricky Grace. That's his 6th.
This is unbelievable.
He'll sit down. You know, it's a game of momentum out there. And of course, at one end when the shot clock stops and the buckets come up, puts all the pressure on the Tigers now. That's 6 for Grace. He'll see no more for season 1993. He'll leave the court to the applause of this 8,000-strong crowd who have appreciated his efforts throughout the year.
And a timeout called by the Perth Wildcats. What a fight back by Perth. They were gone with a minute to go, and now it's just a 3-point ball game with the Tigers at the foul line. Vlahov up to 29 points. Here's Adrian Hurley. 103-100. Copeland 35. What would Hurley be saying at the moment, John?
Well, he'd be looking to make sure he can stop the clock, but he wants the ball to go inside. At this point, try and get the easy bucket. But the way Vlahov and Fisher have been taking the last couple, he'll take anything out there. What he really has to hope for is that Copeland misses this foul shot. Copeland has been excellent tonight. What is he, 50% from the foul line throughout the year? He's been 78% throughout the playoffs. He's been 94%. You'd have to say the percentages favoured the Tigers. Tigers ready to play. Proud, willing, their home team to get back into this ball game as they have. 11 points down at three-quarter time. Simmons bring the glue for the Tigers. Copeland finished off in game 3.
Well, if there's been a better game of basketball since I've been watching basketball, Dean, I certainly can't remember it. Well, how about you?
No, I really can't. I don't think there's been a better game since they took the laces out of the ball.
Now look at the crowd behind the foul line. There are thousands trying to put Copeland off. This is pressure. Misses it. A chance for Perth. They're 3 down. Can they tie it up and force it into overtime? Torrance.
Foul. Foul's gone on Leonard Copeland. Well, Simmons it is. Simmons. That's his 5th. That's the 4th foul. They've taken about 4 seconds off the clock. That's his 5th for Simmons. That gives the Wildcats an out-of-bounds possession. Will they go early? And they've lost it. No, Vlahov got it back.
Vlahov. Will he be the man? He takes the free. No, in and out. I thought it was home.
Goodness gracious me, folks.
I thought it was home. It did everything but go in the net.
That was as close as you want to get. What courage to take that jump shot.
It did everything but fall.
Yep, and you would have heard this roof lift as it would have equalised. The frantic foul at the other stage has prompted a timeout from Lindsay Gaze. He wants to try and organise his team after they make these foul shots, or look for the lifesaver in case they don't.
3 points the difference, 4.9 seconds left on the clock. It's 103 Melbourne, 100 the Wildcats. Andrew Vlahov, under all sorts of duress, threw up the three. Here's Lindsay Gaze. We won't be able to hear him because it's just madness here at the Perth Entertainment Centre.
There's no doubt that this crowd have seen fight back after fight back. 13, 14 points was the biggest margin, 11 points down. The Wildcats were at three-quarter time. Wildcats were able to come back with some frantic three-point shooting out there. They had a chance behind their captain, Andrew Vlahov, and as you said, I suspect that ball went halfway down the net and came out again. But either way, the Tigers, and you must give them credit, there's that crowd back in Melbourne. Apprehensive, heart in the mouth. Margaret Gaze is not going to say a word.
So this is the scenario. There's 4.9 seconds left on the clock. It's the Melbourne Tigers 3 points in front. They are at the foul line. So if they miss this first shot, the Wildcats still have a chance, albeit a slim one, to force this game into overtime.
They can get the ball down the court and get up a good shot within 5 seconds out there, but all the pressure now on Andrew Gaze, as it has been so much throughout his career. He's an excellent shooter from the foul line, has averaged 86 throughout the regular season and 86 from the foul line, and today out there he's 5 from 6. You'd have to say the percentages are with the Tigers.
Never been a more important foul shot for Andrew Gaze.
All credit to the man. All credit to the man. Too early to celebrate yet, but by gee, that makes the Wildcats' task all that much harder. The Tigers bench ecstatic. Gaze with the pressure gone after making the first. Rolls out for the second. 3.3. We've got a reset over here. What we've got called out here.
What's happened is that, John, there's been a, when the shot went up, someone's thrown a big piece of paper across the middle of the court.
Right.
So the referees have stopped the clock.
And of course, this gives possession to the Wildcats some 30 feet down in their back court. So they get a chance to be a little bit closer, almost like the NBA situation when you call a timeout and get possession from the halfway. 3.3 seconds, they've got to set up a prayer.
Tigers cannot afford to foul. They've just got to run away from the Wildcats.
Don't touch a thing, yells out Gaze. Vlahov for 2. And the Tigers, for the first time in history, have won the NBL title.
Well, super effort from the Melbourne Tigers. Great scenes of jubilation. Great presence of mind from Vlahov last time when he got that ball, Stephen. Didn't take the three-pointer, knew 3 points weren't enough. He wanted the foul, and Bradkey was smart enough to back off. There you can see the Gaze family and the Gaze family in Perth enjoying the first ever. Is that emotion from Lindsay?
Look at the Gaze family, Lindsay and Andrew. Andrew just tears streaming down the face. Something they've wanted so badly for so long. But the Perth Wildcats, what a performance by them. They were gone with a couple of minutes to go and they almost nicked it, almost forced it into overtime. What a great game of basketball. What an advertisement for the NBL.
Well, we talked about a typical final and whether it was a worthy final. I don't think any of the fans out there, nor this sellout crowd here, could deny the Tigers a marvellous victory. Great emotion, great effort. They went so close last year against the Magic. It's all theirs here today to enjoy.
We'll see if either Mike or Dean can perhaps sneak in there for a quick interview. They're calling for the Tigers fans here in Western Australia to come on the court. They're going to do a Pat Cash. They're going to go into the stadium.
Well,
there's the wife of Robert Sidley. A lot of the players' wives and girlfriends are here. There's Mark Bradkey.
Mark, unbelievable. Congratulations. You're obviously fairly ecstatic.
Oh, yeah, you can see the guys there. Very emotional. It's fantastic, you know. We were down, but, you know, we came back and it feels wonderful.
Your own game, Mark. I mean, I know it's hard to sort of analyse it so quickly. It is a fantastic feeling out here. But, mate, you just played so well yourself. So over 20 rebounds.
Is that right? I just kept on trying to find the ball and fill my hands. These guys did it all. It was great. You know, I can't do it. Great.
Fantastic performance. Well done, Mark Bradkey.
Yes, Mark Bradkey finished the game with 23 points and 21 rebounds. The final scores, Tigers 104, Wildcats 102. The first time the Tigers have ever won in Western Australia.
First time ever. Perth were going for their 18th straight win. They weren't good enough in the finish.
Leonard Copeland, 35 points in the game.
Leonard, one hell of an effort. Fantastic job, I tell you. They still fought it out to the end. It was close.
You got to give those guys all the credit in the world. That is by far the second best team in the league this year. They played their asses off, and I want to commend them. I think if we just had it, we wanted it more, just an inch more, and we went out and did it.
Leonard, the emotion that you can feel out here is just fantastic. I mean, you've now been a part of this ball club for a couple of years, but of course you understand the great feeling and the history of this club with the Gaze family. It must be a great feeling.
It's the greatest feeling in the world. I'm standing here yelling. I can't even talk because I was yelling on the floor trying to get the guys pumped. Everybody, Lindsay's yelling, everybody's yelling. That's why we did it today.
Leonard Copeland, fantastic performance yourself, 35 points. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
And there's the Wildcats. Well, they gave it their absolute best. They're hanging their heads, but they shouldn't be disappointed with their performance because they fought it to the death, didn't they?
Well, they came back from 11 points down, and that was a great effort. But tonight, or today I should say, the Tigers were just too good when it counted. In that third quarter, the latter part, they had all the answers. Wildcats tended to fade just a little bit.
Okay, Dean Templeton, I do believe, has grabbed one of the Gazers at least. I think he's with Lindsay.
Quarters, we've got Lindsay over here. Lindsay, long time between drinks. Congratulations, your first title. You must be wrapped.
Well, I think it was one of those things you obviously have a dream about and you want to win. But above all, I say this is a players' game. What we tried to do is to make it a players' game, and I thought they showed that tonight. I was a very concerned and interested spectator, but it was a great effort. I'm very pleased for the guys there. Many of them have been waiting for my
I think you've got to take a little bit of credit yourself there, Lindsay. I just want to take your pulse, mate. I want to see how that feels. You're a bit high. How's the blood pressure?
Fairly good, I think. I've always been concerned about my fitness because there's many coaches die on the bench with heart failure. So I try and keep in shape, and maybe that can get me out of it now.
Fantastic performance, mate. Well done from everybody. Congratulations. You thoroughly deserve it.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Good.
We'll take a break here at the Perth Entertainment Centre. Back for the award presentation in a few moments' time.
Leave your car's tune-up and service to WA's favourite specialist repairers and you'll get a fixed price job that's so good it's guaranteed in writing for 6 months or 10,000 Ks.
Overdue for a service? Here's the biggest offer ever made by Automasters. All this for just $149. Hurry, book now at Automasters. $149 fixed price and a money-back guarantee.
Automasters makes every day is a brand new experience, different every way.
Love those new wedges.
Chicken treat, we got $3 specials, different every day. Monday,
Pretty cool for only $3.
Tuesday, $3 special. Wednesday,
This is a great deal.
Thursday and Friday, $3 special. Barbecue.
Every day's my day.
For the West Best barbecue chicken taste, chicken treat the place. I got the taste.
Sir, this is the sedan, right? Terrific. There's Henry, Melissa, Tommy, and the wife up front. A choice of 2 engines. This is the perfect family car. All I need now is the perfect family. Oh, excuse me.
At Town & Country Bank, you have a choice of high-performance savings and investment accounts. Get over day-to-day hurdles with a Gold Star Passbook account. You'll pay no charges, get a free checkbook, and earn high daily interest. Benefit from money market-related interest rates with a maxi-rate cash management account. Or if you're in it for the longer haul, choose from a wide range of attractive term deposit options. When you've got some money to invest, win with a high-yield Town & Country account.
Because it's performance that counts.
Hey, that sounds a little different.
He wants all his friends to be out there doing things, to have fun.
He's like a natural athlete.
It's his dream house with a trampoline, a skateboard ramp. He'll probably have a swimming pool there someday.
Just couches all over the living room so people can just crash.
Yeah, he's kind of larger than life in a way. No one else like Anton. Kind of psycho and kind of dangerous.
He's just a really nice guy.
That is a blatant lie.
Monday night, first at 5 on 10 Eyewitness News, the high price of WA's wheat belt. Our golden grain helps to keep us afloat, but the land rush has pushed our biological treasures to the verge of extinction.
All the farmers probably everywhere around just cleared. If it was a tree, they knocked it over and that was it. It was gone.
Under threat, our wildflowers and our mighty salmon gums, which scientists warn could all be gone within 50 years. A sea of wheat, our exclusive report, Monday night, only on Channel 10.
Andrew Gaze, it's been 10 years you've been waiting to get one of these things around your neck. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been a long road, and you sort of reflect back on these times of the hard times, and every ounce of sweat, every training session, it's all worth it because this is just a sensational feeling.
Now, Drewy, you've done it all in basketball, just about everything. How does this sort of fit into the Andrew Gaze history books?
This is the best because it's been the hardest to work for. I mean, I've been with this club since I was 5 years old. Sure, we won junior championships and we won a Southeastern championship, but this is the ultimate. And above and beyond anything else, I could give two hells, but it's from my dad, I think, is the most important thing about the whole thing.
Yeah, we had to talk to him. He was very excited about it, obviously. A little bit of pressure on that last foul shot, mate.
I've never been so nervous shooting a free throw to stop before in my life. And those fans just kept shaking. I just missed one, so I was scared to death. But as soon as that one went in, baby, you don't know the relief I had over me.
It's going to be a pretty exciting flight home, I'd suggest.
Oh, it should be interesting anyway, but we're looking forward to getting home. We've got a big do at Albert Park Stadium tomorrow night, and that's where I've grown up. If you like going home, hopefully the fans will come out and see us there.
I don't think you'll need an aeroplane to fly home, mate. Thanks. Congratulations. Fantastic performance. Well
Thanks very much.
Well done, Drew.
Well, the official presentation's just started, and Lindsay Gaze, the look on his face, more relief than anything else, I think, John.
Oh, he's certainly enjoying all the rewards of the hard work. I mean, his heart must have been in his mouth there in those last couple of seconds as the Wildcats charged back, but he's worked hard for so very long for Australian basketball and for the Tigers.
I'd like to take this opportunity, if I may, to thank all the teams for a great year, all the players.
Let's now go to the
coaches,
presentation.
to thank the media, and most importantly, thank the NBL for putting on a great season. Mitsubishi will be back next year as the major sponsor, and the Mitsubishi Challenge will be bigger and better than ever. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a tradition in the National Basketball League, not shared by many other sports in the country around the world, to acknowledge the excellent performance of the runner-up team. In a best-of-3 series, losing the grand final by no means that you're a loser, and the Perth Wildcats excelled 12 other teams in this league, and we'd like to give recognition individually to the Wildcats.
That's a terrible
If the Wildcat players would please come forward as I call their name to accept their trophy. Eric Watterson. James J.C. Crawford. Chris Carroll. Martin Catalini. Trevor Torrance. Steve Davis. Ricky Grace. Andrew Vlahoff. Scott Fisher. Jamie Baker. Head coach Adrian Hurley. Assistant coach Dave Hancock. And the strength behind the scenes for the Wildcat, team manager James Bridle. Congratulations again to the 1993 Perth Wildcats. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce the 1993 Mitsubishi Challenge winners to accept their championship rings. I call forward Warwick Giddy. Ray Gordon. Andrew Gates. Andrew Walter. Bernard Copeland. David Simmons. Nick Tenner. Stephen Whitehead. Mark Bradkey. Robert Sibley. Head coach, Lindsay Gaze. Assistant coach, Alan Westover. And team manager, Ian Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, there's two more functions that we have to do. The first is the presentation of the championship trophies, and the last event will be to present the Grand Final Series Most Valuable Player. To accept the championship trophy on behalf of Melbourne Tigers, I'd like to call forth their captain, Andrew Gaze. The first trophy that we will present to the Melbourne Tigers is their permanent Mitsubishi Challenge trophy that will be their Tigers trophy for all time. The second trophy being presented is in memory of the founder of the league, Dr. John Rasky. It is a perpetual trophy and that is passed from champion team to champion team on a yearly basis. So with all these goodies, I'd like to call the captain of the Tigers, Andrew Gaze, to the microphone.
Firstly, I'd just like to say that I'm going to make this as quick as possible because this time last year we were sitting in that position over there and it was a very difficult situation for us. And I first of all like to congratulate the Perth Wildcats on a outstanding season. You come into a venue like this, and as most people here are aware, this is the first time we've ever won here, and I think that shows a lot of credit for the team here. And you come in here and you see the championship banners up on the rafters here, and clearly they're a very class program, class bunch of guys in the team. And most importantly, I'd like to say thank you to Adrian Hurley for everything that he's done throughout my career as well. Thank you very much. Obviously we've had a very rough season this year. It was tough for us, and I think that it was tough for us at the start of the year, and I think that we showed a lot of character to get it through that. And I'd just personally like to congratulate my teammates, and you know, I think that they've done an outstanding job. And a couple more people I'd like to thank. I'd also like to thank my father. He's been an institution in basketball in Australia, and I'm sure in this modern era of the NBL we forget about our past and our history. But this trophy really, I'd like to in honour of my father, and also Ken Watson, who's been the founder of the Melbourne Tigers Basketball Club. And last but not least, I'd like to thank all the Melbourne Tigers fans for coming, those that come here, and those that came across and made the trip, and those back at home watching us. You know, we really appreciate their support. And once again, thanks very much for you people coming along and supporting the great game of basketball. Thanks very much.
One more duty, Andrew, to accept the 1993 Mitsubishi Challenge Championship banner. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, the National Basketball League awards the most valuable player over the 3 games of the series. There are a lot of thrilling contests during the year, a lot of great individual contributions. The judges had a hard time picking the MVP of this series, but they felt over the 3 games that Ricky Grace from the Perth Wildcats was the MVP. Ricky Grace, the grand final MVP.
We're all obviously disappointed. We'd like to thank you guys for supporting us the whole year. We came in second this year. We were runner-ups, but you guys came in first as fans. Congratulations. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal ceremony. The Mitsubishi Challenge will be back better in 1994, and we're certain that both the Perth Wildcats and Melbourne Tigers will contest the playoffs once more. Thank you very much for your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for Bill Palmer, the General Manager of the NBL. And don't forget, folks, on behalf of our sponsors, Rock Gold and Coca-Cola, the Perth Wildcats invite you to have a drink with us.
Yeah.
Here is Mario and Mario 1, 2 and 3 plus the never before seen lost levels, but this is new and improved 4 games in one Mario. In new Super Mario All-Star, so much Mario, it's a Mario smorgasbord. It's juiced up 16-bit, only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mario. So it's brighter Mario, better Mario, in your face Mario, it's Raccoon Mario, Mario throwing fireballs, Mario hurling turnips, Mario negotiating an arms deal. Okay, maybe not, but it's Mario like you've never seen him. You're going to live, breathe, eat, sleep Mario. So buy a Super NES now and get Mario All-Stars. With all 4 Mario games, you can't get more Mario than this, but you better get it now.
Landcare Australia, proudly presented by the Uncle Toby's Company.
Landcare is the most important environmental issue facing Australia, and it's something we can all become involved in. We can start in our own backyards, or we can join a local landcare support group to look after the neighbourhood park, stream or beach, our farming district or water catchment area. It's people like us getting together to care for our country. Call for more information. Let's Landcare Australia.
Every week, Western Australian lotto players win over $1 million. Are you getting your share?
Sir, this is the sedan, right? Terrific. There's Henry, Melissa, Tommy, and the wife up front. A choice of 2 engines. This is the perfect family car. All I need now is the perfect family. Oh, excuse me.
You know how we talked about making better use of our savings?
Yes.
Well, I think I have the answer. There's this ideal savings account. It's got high interest, and we can take our money out whenever we want to, even on Saturdays when most banks are closed. And you know the best thing?
They don't charge any fees. Not even government charges.
The Big Apple is big business.
What do I call you? Call me God.
So can a boy from the farm get the girl of his dreams, bluff his way to the top?
Who are you? Carlton Whitfield.
I didn't get a memo on that.
Nice furniture. Goes with your hair.
In the story of a comical charade, mismatched romance,
I just want to love you.
and corporate chaos.
But you don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
Michael J. Fox, Helen Slater, and Academy Award winner Mercedes Rule.
How long have you been going together? 20 minutes.
The Secret of My Success, tonight on 10.
Now for the answer in our superpower competition, where throughout the season you're going to be winning state-of-the-art Nintendo systems. This week the 5 winners will receive world-beating 16-bit Super Nintendo Entertainment Systems and the mind-blowing Super Mario All-Stars game. The question was, who won this year's Most Valuable Player Award? The answer, Robert Rose. Robert Rose was this year's MVP. Now, if you knew that and phoned in, keep watching, because your name could be appearing on the screen right now as we show you the winners from around Australia. Well, Nintendo make fantastic games, but Steve Carfino, what we just saw on Network 10 for a couple of hours was the best.
Oh, that was a fantastic game. The 2 best teams going at it, right at it head-to-head. Very classic game going all the way to the end. But like you said before, it was like they really just wanted it a little bit more desperate than the Perth Wildcats.
Melbourne 11 points up with a minute and a half left. We wonder what was going through the minds of players like Andrew Vlahoff, the struggle all season. Vlahoff had to make some big plays. He did make them. And then that critical rim out on that last tray was just unbelievable.
Well, it was a desperate situation, and it just looked as if Andrew Vlahoff said, you know, climb on, boys, I'll just take you for the ride, because he just hit those clutch shots. He wanted those pressure shots like that one at the end that just rimmed out. That takes a lot of guts to take that and take the responsibility of the game on your shoulders, but he took it and it just rimmed out. I was kind of hoping for an overtime game myself.
For all that, I felt the game was won on the boards. The rebound stats you'll find will be fairly even, but it was the critical second chance plays that Melbourne converted, and Bradkey played a big hand in that. 20+ rebounds, as he said in the interview. He didn't know he'd made that many, but he was just there.
Oh, that's right. He just went out and he probably concentrated on going after every loose ball and after every rebound, and like he did, and probably didn't realize that he had 20 points. Of course he didn't, but he had a great effort.
Now, shortly we hope to talk to Ricky Grace, the MVP of the series, but the MVP of the game, Steve, I know we agreed on this one.
Well, that's right. I felt like it was Leonard Copeland, because during that stretch of the game, he really kind of put the nail into the coffin for the Perth Wildcats. He hit some tough shots, and he was just, during that stretch where they went about 13-3, he had about 11 of those points.
Yep, he was the guy that opened it up for them. He's had a magnificent playoff series, and as the guys said, criticised early in the season for his contribution. Perth at one stage, Melbourne at one stage were 2-6 at the start of 1993. Perth was always in front, but they came back strongly. Leonard played a big hand in that and really showed that quality to step up. He'd be an NBA player.
Oh, that's right. I think the thing is, they had a lot of trouble defining their roles early in the year, how to get Mark Bradkey in there and how Leonard Copeland was going to get those extra shots. And when it came down to the playoffs, players like Stephen Whitehead and Leonard Copeland, their stats went up.
What about the fatigue factor? A lot of players with their hands on their knees at the end of the game. We expected that, but do you think the edge that was taken off Perth may have come from the fact that they had three-game series up to this point?
Well, I think that may have been the case, but I think that when you miss shots that you feel like you should make, and there are a lot of shots that the Perth Wildcats probably should have made, and those are really tough on you. You go down there and you do the hard work, and it just doesn't come off, and it's not successful for you. It just takes everything out of you.
Well, the players heading back to the dressing rooms, of course, some to celebrate, others to commiserate, and we'll go back now to Perth. Steve Quartermain.
Thanks, Billy. Well, a lot's already been said about the Gaze clan. It's a long way away, Melbourne, from Western Australia, and I'm sure Ormond Hall in Albert Park is still going wild. But now we're going to try something pretty special. We've got Andrew and Lindsay speaking with their respective wives, Melinda and Margaret, and I'm sure all four of them are just absolutely over the moon at the moment.
Of course, we've got the wonders of technology here, guys. We'll see. We've got Lindsay can actually hear what's going on over there at Ormond Hall in Melbourne. It is a long way away. Lindsay, what can you say to the fans back home, because they're all listening?
Well, I think first of all we wanted this game to be a players' game. They've done the work and they've put in the energy and they've made the commitment. But also we wanted to make sure that we responded to the supporters back home. That they've been fantastic for us, and of course without that support we wouldn't have had the chance to be able to play here. So all of the players and the coaching staff appreciate that support, and we're very grateful for that. And I'll be a bit rude here and I'll say it's a bit like virginity. After the first it gets easier from now on.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know anything about it. Would you like to say hello to your wife? I can't say much more. Your wife's there listening to this. She won't be happy about that comment.
Well, I don't think she's a virgin because she's produced this for us. And when you think about the product of basketball, I mean, I think that's a fairly good achievement, I reckon.
That's not bad. Margaret, say something to your husband, quick.
I'm stunned.
You're stunned? Well, at least we got a win. We can rest easy for a while.
Come on, Margaret, you can say more than that. Would you like to say something to your son?
Yes, I'm proud of him and the rest of the team, and they've done a wonderful job, and they've all made us very happy back here.
She's very proud of you, Andrew. What would you like to say to your mum? And of course Melinda's over there as well.
Well, obviously, you know, we love them very much, and we love every single person in that Ormond Hall right now, because they've been the ones that have been right through us, right through all the games, and they've done just as probably much as work as what we have, the way they cheer and that. And you know, we're biased, but we think we've got the best fans in Australia, and we're looking forward to getting back and celebrating with our fans.
Melinda, any instructions for Andrew for the after-match celebrations, or are you just going to let him loose?
Just take it easy, and we'll see you at 11:15 tonight at the airport.
She said, take it easy, and she'll see you at 11:15 at the airport. Now, you behave yourself, all right? Final word, Lindsay, for everybody.
Well, the worst thing that could happen for us now is that we can malinga here. We've got about an hour to get to that plane. That's one event we don't want to miss.
All right, guys, fantastic performance. Andrew, I think you should wear that on the plane. It's a good look, the whole look, you know. I think that's a good look for the aeroplane.
Lindsay and Andrew, congratulations for today and for the whole season. And, you know, maybe I'm from Melbourne, so I'm a little biased, so I apologise to everybody else, but hey, great careers, both of you. Congratulations. Well done. Quarters or Steve or whoever's back there, it's back to you guys.
Thanks, Dino. Good work. Yes, well, I think Lindsay Gaze, John, has just produced probably the quote of the year anyways, as far as basketball is concerned. And let's now have a look at the match statistics with the Melbourne Tigers defeating the Perth Wildcats by 2 points.
And a lot of that victory was based upon their superior shooting percentage, 49% to 39. And I think you have to put it down to the defence of the Tigers. They intimidated the Wildcats. We go through them from the top. The foul shooting was okay. Tigers a little down, Wildcats up, but they didn't take many, 20 compared to 34. From the three-point line, the Wildcats were very good at 42%. They led the league all year. They went on with the job, mainly through people like Ricky Grace and Andrew Vlahoff. Rebounding does show a parity, but I'm surprised because I really thought that Bradkey intimidated everybody in the Keyway and had some marvellous efforts. He and Simmons, if they didn't get the rebounds, they kept it alive. The assists favoured the Wildcats. The turnovers, Wildcats protected possession a little better, but in all of those stats, there's only one real stat that counts, and that's the final score that favoured the Tigers.
And the top scorers in this game this afternoon for the Perth Wildcats, Andrew Vlahoff, what a start he was, 31 points, Fisher 22, Crawford 22, Ricky Grace, the MVP of the grand final series with 21 points, Watterson 4 points. For the Tigers, Leonard Copeland produced it when he had to, 35 points, Bradkey 23, and as we said, add to that 21 rebounds, Gaze 22, Sibley 9, and Simmons 8. And the Tigers winning 104 to 102. Dean and Mike, I think, Dean, the most important thing this afternoon for us is that we've shared the raffle money. That's the most important thing. Let's get that straight. But wasn't it just a fantastic game of basketball, guys?
I think the whole series, the two games over here in Perth and the one in Melbourne, Mike, were, I really mean, the best basketball I've seen. Had it all, humour, bit of violence, aggression, the whole bit.
Yeah, it was all there, that's for sure. Normally in the playoffs and the finals you see big margins, but hey, what a fantastic finale to the great season.
All we can do is look forward to season 94, guys. It's been a great season for 93 for us, and we're certainly looking forward to next year.
Dean and Mike, thanks for your assistance during the grand final series. John, also, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Same with me, Stephen.
Bill and Steve, as you're well aware, it's been a long season, but it's a fantastic climax this afternoon. It's been, we've had a lot of fun in season 93.
Thanks very much, fellas, for a magnificent call, as usual. A marvellous year by all four of the guys all round, and we are looking forward to next season as well. It'll be just as big. Well, we've had Plays of the Year, Best Player of the Year, Player of the Series. Now we have the Best of 1993. Hang around. We've got proof the NBL is a force to be reckoned with. Here's the alley-oop play. When it comes to scoring points in a single game, there's just no keeping up with the Joneses.
Nice inside pass for Ricky Jones.
Ricky Jones of the Townsville Suns left it till the last round of the regular season to hoop his way to an NBL season high of 53 points against the Magic. 4 of the season's top 10 scores belong to the Rain Man, which just goes to show it never rains, it pours. The only other player to forge through the 5-0 barrier in 93 was the Giants' Jason Reese, who rode the Gold Coast Rollers for 51 in July. For points per game, you couldn't go past that Gaze boy, and nobody did.
Oh, that's just class. Andrew Gaze, you're a genius.
With an average output of 33 points a match, he was clearly number 1 when it came to hitting 2s. And 3s.
Oh, he is unbelievable. And he's brought the whole crowd to their feet.
It's the 8th year in a row that Drew has led the league in points a game. Truly a Jordan-esque achievement. What was particularly nice for him this season was that not only did he always have the support of his daddy, but his mummy put in the occasional appearance as well. If you were totally rapt by that performance, then try these for size. The most shot attempts in a single game this season was 37 by Ricky Jones in his 53-point game against the Magic. Now, this may seem a lot, but not when compared to the NBL all-time record of 50 hoisted by Reg Biddings in 1981 against Frankston. That's one shot every 48 seconds. The most shots made in a game this year, 22, a record shared by Jason Reese and Ricky Jones during their respective 50-point games. Michael Morrison of the Geelong Supercats put up the most three-point shots in a game this year when he had 19 attempts against Townsville in June. Now that effort is the third most in NBL history, a spot he shares with, wait for it, the current Magic coach Brian Goorjian. For the most successes from the land of threes, you need look no further than Morrison again, who made 9 of his 19 attempts in that game. Brisbane's Dave Colbert also hit 9 trays in a game against Geelong to share the 1993 honours. Ian Davies' 13 three-point successes against St Kilda in 1985, however, is still the NBL record by, if you'll pardon the expression, a long shot. Bruce Bolden paid the most visits to the foul line in a single match this season when he took 19 free throws against the Kings in July. Strangely enough, when Jason Reese and Perth's Andrew Vlahoff took the second and third most foul shot attempts this year, they were also in matches against Sydney. Reese made 17 of his 18 free throws in that match, the most successes from the line in a game this season. When it comes to shooting accuracy, well, you can hardly miss this trio of players who themselves could hardly miss. The Falcons' Paul Kuiper in his comeback season after major knee surgery was the man with the Midas touch in 1993.
Almost a steal from Newcroft, but that allows Kuiper to steam down the middle.
While not everything he touched turned into gold, 64.1% of all his shots turned into points, more than any other player. From the three-point line, it was Canberra youngster Matt Witkowski who proved that with a league-leading 47% from downtown, a glossy interior move compares little with a matte finish. Brisbane's Dave Colbert turned out to be the man not to foul when shooting, as he set a new NBL record for foul shot accuracy, making 94.7%. That is 90 of his 95 free throws. He was certainly hot during an 8-game stretch in the winter months when he made 40 in a row. Some of the leaders of the NBL, and there's more next year, and it's coming up pretty soon. Well, all year in our other program, Basketball Extra, we've been promoting a competition in liaison with Caltex and Coca-Cola. Now it's time to announce the winners. Here they are. From New South Wales, Daniel Castro of Pendle Hill. From Victoria, Peter Ordner of Ferntree Gully. From Queensland, Adrian Evans of Rothwell. ACT, Damien Thomas of Braddon. From WA, Cody Bolton of Balladura. And from South Oz, Deborah Farrens of Ottawa. Congratulations, you'll all be notified during the next few weeks. Moving right along, well, the 1993 NBL season is over, but what a season it's been. Basketball fans, don't despair. 1994's NBA season is about to start, and you can see all the action here on Network 10. Yes, we'll be back with the NBA action, and of course you've probably heard by now Michael Jordan has retired. That'll make it an interesting season, Steve. Open it right up.
Oh, that's right. I think in the Eastern Conference, everybody be looking at the Knicks because they're powerful, even more powerful than next year with a couple of trades, and they've got to be everybody's favorite.
Mike Fratello's back at Cleveland. That'll make things a little interesting there. And who else do you think? Charlotte? Maybe?
Well,
up there in the top 3?
I think so. They've got a very young ball club, but they've got Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson back for, I don't know, what he signed for $80 million or something like that. And on the West Coast, of course, you got the Phoenix Suns.
113, something like that. 130 it was, 130 million. Let's go west now. You got Phoenix probably on top, but I like Spurs to come in and get in there somewhere. But the West's going to be very tough this year.
Yeah, West's going to be tough, and I think a lot of it depends on Charles Barkley and his health. If he comes good and his back is able to hold out for a whole season, I think that playoff experience and also being in the finals and taking the Bulls to 6 games, that's going to be valuable experience for them, and I think they're going to overcome the hump and win the championship.
Good crop of rookies, and we'll bring all that to you in a couple of weeks. We have little time just to talk about next year in the National Basketball League. Your thoughts? Can the Melbourne Tigers go on from here, or will they find that plateau that some teams that have been trying so hard to win a championship find in the year after?
No, I think that their kind of group, they're an emotional group, they stick together. I think that's the type of team that's going to be successful in the second year. If they can keep the players like Stephen Whitehead happy, I know that he's a great player, but he doesn't play maybe enough minutes that he wants to. And if they can keep him happy and keep their lineup together, I think they're very capable of going back to back.
It's certainly an awesome lineup, probably the best in the league. South East Melbourne have a little trouble keeping their team under a salary cap. Hopefully Melbourne can keep their team together too. Well, a quick word before we go. Our thanks to the crew all around Australia on our locations this year. They've done a magnificent job with the productions. Johnny Murray, the producer on location, Margaret Hutchings, the boss in the studio and everywhere else. Mike Ordsent, the boss of basketball altogether, has held it together pretty well, even though he's concentrating on other things right now. Our thanks also to the behind-the-scenes people, Justine, Donna, our stats man, Darren Eisenberg. Marvellous presentation of the best of 1993 and all the stats. Everybody else, Steve in the studio, our floor crews, floor managers, it's a big team, doing pretty well. Great action today on Sunday Basketball. Thanks for joining us. More to come on Network 10 after the news tonight. All the results from around the world on Sports Tonight. Stay with me for that.
And Tuesday, the 2nd of November, it's the 1993 Foster's Melbourne Cup, and Spring Racing Carnival continues live and exclusive on Network 10 with Oaks Day on Thursday and Finals Day next Saturday.
Who's going to win the Melbourne Cup, Steve?
I have no idea.
Second rugby test is live from France next Sunday, 2:30 in the morning. That's Eastern Summer Time, okay? Don't forget that. November 14, Ironman returns. We've got that coming to you from Coolum in Queensland. NBA action begins noon, Saturday, 13th of November. Don't forget that. Thanks for being with us through the season on 10, your NBL network. We'll be back next year with all the news and action you can handle. For now, a reminder, 1993 Grand Final Series of the Mitsubishi Challenge.
See you in a couple of weeks.
The finals of the NBL Mitsubishi Challenge, proudly brought to you by Chicken Treat, Automasters, Lotto, Nike, Coca-Cola, Uncle Toby's, and Nintendo. In 1993, the Perth Wildcats once again proved to be a powerful force in Australian basketball, becoming league leaders and grand finalists in the Mitsubishi Challenge. Congratulations to all the team from Channel 10 and our major sponsors, Chicken Treat, Automasters, Lotto, Nike and Coca-Cola. If you enjoyed Channel 10 Perth's award-winning NBL coverage, join us again next year when the Wildcats roar in 94.
Come gather around the old campfire, it's cooking up tonight.